Yep. Waking up in the evening. Been sleeping for a good 22 hours. Like to get my rest in before I do some Dungeons and Dragons. If the lazy players aren't up yet, Glenn, wake up!
What?
Get out of it!
Jesus.
Yeah.
Who's
All right,
that?
hold on. That's Tony. It's me, Tony. It's time to play Dungeons and Dragons. Here, help me shake Dan. You grab his left side, and I'll grab his right side.
All right,
Dan.
I'm awake. Jeez.
All right. Conquer. Dan, wake up Lisa.
Lisa. Hey,
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. All right. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Get on the ball here. Let's go.
My face.
Aline. I'm gonna wake up. There's waffles.
No.
There's waffles and bandits.
Are they gluten free?
I may have lied about the waffles and the bandits. The bandits are full of gluten. No,
Wait, all right.
they're the bad kind of bandits.
It's the worst.
All right, we're almost there. Who are we missing?
Kathy, it's time for school. It's time for school.
What?
Daddy.
Huh? But I didn't do my homework.
There's a test. It's the big test today. You didn't study for it.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
All together now. Thursday night.
Right.
And it's Thursday night.
Oh, well, that was a great show, everybody. See you later.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Hello, live stream bootleg. Hello, YouTube listeners and viewers. Welcome to Thursday night with some of your friends, the incomparable, and one of your enemies.
The rest of us don't like you.
Yeah. This is our live stream of Total Party Kill. We are continuing our expedition we started last night, this mini adventure called The Nightblade, and we're going to jump into things pretty shortly. Our plan is to record 2 back-to-back 1-hour episodes. I think that's about all I need to say before we start the episode proper. Dan, am I forgetting anything?
Only how much you want to give us extra bonus inspiration.
Give us
Ooh, bonus inspiration.
If you want bonus inspiration, you to theincomparable.com and sign up for our membership for $5, $10, or some other number I don't remember amount per month.
I'm going already. Jeez.
So good at this.
Guys, if you can't tell that I've min-maxed against marketing, this is the clue.
You're really good at this.
You can give us money, or you cannot. It's totally voluntary. And, especially I know some people are financially hurt in these times, so super don't worry about it. But if it's not a big deal for you to give $5 to people who play D&D online for your amusement, and that would make you feel better, I don't know, do that. We're probably going to play D&D either way.
That's
so,
like $1. That's like $1 for each of us, and none for Tony.
Oh.
Is that how that works now? Do I get paid for this?
I'm a dungeon master, not a math magician. So
that's a subclass.
All right, let us play some Dungeons and Dragons, nerds. Is that you're amenable?
I guess.
All right. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a nerd on the internet, and tonight only, except also all those other nights, a dungeon master. We are playing some Dungeons and Dragons. We are continuing this short mini adventure called The Nightblade. The Nightblade is an adventure published in the wonderful PDF or book called simply Fantastic Adventures, put out by Sly Flourish. If you've never been to slyflourish.com and are somebody who runs D&D adventures, it's an invaluable resource. I think $15 for this PDF. I'll be honest, I haven't spent a lot of money this week, but this was the best $15 I spent. These are real good. This is one of several adventures. I plan to run all of them in some form or at some point. I did the thing where I was like, these are all good. Which one am I going to pick? And I was just like, I'll just do this one, and then I'll do the second one. And you know what I'm going to do after that? Probably the third one, but that's not a promise. Anyway, joining me, following up on our previous sessions, is the returning group. This adventure group does not have a name yet. Maybe they will forge a name for themselves somewhere along this adventure today. Maybe not. Nope. No pressure. I think there's some namespace pollution there, Dan, with calling yourselves the Nightblades. Allow me to introduce our players, and they will briefly introduce their characters. First off, my friend from the Flashcast, it's Lisa Smizer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Lisa, who are you playing tonight?
I am Gwyndiel, the cleric whose curiosity is perhaps running contra to any and all reasonable survival instincts.
Indeed. Next up, my friend from, let's just say other things, Dan Morin.
From literally everything else.
Except for this podcast.
My lawyer has advised me not to acknowledge my relationship with Dan Morin.
Finally, a smart decision. I am playing Cueris the Bard. Hello. How are you? As the Nightblades have found to adventure, we're bound.
I feel like a bard is something you need for all of your adventures.
It's
Always
pretty
have a bard.
critical, I think we're discovering on Total Party Kill. This is the place where if we had a higher budget, we would have a montage of our previous famous bards from Total Karate Kill. There
Did you say
is
Total Karate Kill? Because I want to watch that.
Yeah, I heard total karate kill, and
I bet
I'm
it'll-
here for that.
Sweep
I've
the
been in a
leg,
lot of
Danny.
meetings. This is the third night in a row that I'm running Dungeons and
meetings?
Dragons. Yeah,
Tony
what's
Hawk's
left?
professional super karate kill.
What's left inside me is basically trace elements. That's what you're getting.
So what you're saying is this is going to go amazing.
This is going to be great for me and somewhere less than great for all of you. Let us take this moment and think back on some of our favorite bards from Total Party Kill who have all died. There's Steve Lutz playing Kachka Khan, the Three Green Bug Bard.
They're not
I
dead.
don't know if there are any others. Spoilers. So,
Tony, I think you forget
What about-
the most famous bard of them all, Spurious Whisperface.
Whisperface.
okay,
He's
I
al-
thought you were
who's
about to-
alive
I thought
and
you were
well.
about to promote yourself, and I was like, we just introduced you, Dan.
That's on brand. It's on
That would
brand.
be a
Still
rude-
alive as of
excellent
right
move.
now.
Well, we've made it halfway through the introduction so far, Tony. This is going great.
This is great. We're moving. We're moving.
We're doing great.
All right. Next up, it's Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Tony. I am here and I am ready to play Thamia, a Goliath fighter, and I like to hit things.
Awesome. Also here, it's Glenn Fleischman. Hi, Glenn.
I remain present as always. I play Karakon, a sorcerer with surprising raccoon tendencies.
And last but not
You should just wash
least,
your hands
it's
constantly.
Aline Sims. Hi.
I am
Ellie.
playing Lee, the Air Genasi monk.
Welcome all. So let's do a quick recap of what happened previously in the adventure for the benefit of our players and the benefit of our listeners. You were on the road to the town known as White Sparrow when you encountered some bandits who had laid a trap on the road. They had knocked down a tree, flipped over a wagon, your classic bandit shenanigans. You murdered 5 out of 6 bandits. The leader of that little group was Arturo. It's unclear you really get an org chart. Tasty Pete also seemed to be kind of a ranking member there. And you captured one bandit who you have asked some questions of and turned over to the local sheriff, in White Sparrow. So you are currently in White Sparrow. It's probably getting toward night. Some of you have traveled around town investigating a few things. There is the notable landmark in White Sparrow, of course, the Giant Hand. There's also a tavern. There's also a blacksmith. There's also a temple and other standard things.
Just
that
out of
you
curiosity,
might
I
find
know that you
in a town.
you investigated and asked some questions. Did anyone try to talk to the hand?
Oh.
Moving
Dan.
on.
See, I even avoided that one last time.
So I guess my question to you players is if there are any tasks, as it is, it's getting into the evening. Probably many of the non-tavern based shops have closed up for the night. Are there any things you wish to accomplish before you turn in for the evening? You did get a nice, small little bounty from the sheriff for handing over the aspiring bandit who proclaimed to be part of the Nightblades, or at least hoping to join the Nightblades. His story was a little jumbled.
How much do we get
and
for
that-
returning the bandit?
I don't know if I specified, but in my head it was probably like 5 gold pieces, and like a gold piece is going to get you all like pretty nice rooms and a meal.
One
so
gold
like
piece each and none for Tony.
isn't that always the way?
The unseen
Um,
thing of the
Point to your
market.
DM.
Did you? Some of you did learn some things as you were poking around town. I wasn't sure if you wanted to kind of remind yourselves and each other what those were.
I learned that the stew is very, very yummy.
I think you learned that the stew was available.
I think we established that there had previously been a band of Nightblades, and we are unsure what their connection is with the current Nightblades, but their former leader, Razador, Razzmatazz?
Razzmatazz.
That's the way it's gonna go, Tony. Sorry.
Making fun of my non-player character names is tradition at this point.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, Wind Talker. Yep. I will just clarify for the listeners, the people that care about my hopes and dreams. His name is Ralavaz.
I mean, I think I can be excused.
Players, continue.
Not Ralavaz off the tongue.
But he is supposedly in jail somewhere to the south, in the opposite direction
you
from
did,
the tower.
Which is to the north.
Yes.
And specifically, even I think I may have said jail or prison. Wherever he is imprisoned is, let's just say, off the map. So there's significant many days travel in some major city.
And the hand, there was a big excavation around the hand like 20, 30 years ago. They dug down, they got to the elbow, and then they gave up. We don't know why. There's some rusty.
Yeah.
The ladder is rickety.
The
We
thing's
do
made
know
of
that the
climb
hand itself is not magic. We know that it's a non-stone material, sort of like ceramic, because water beads up on it.
but it's not metal because the blacksmith insisted that it had nothing to do with metal. So
just to be clear here, some of my non-player characters that you're going to talk to are smarter and more well-intentioned and more accurate than others. So you've been just remember, you've been told many things. I believe some of them conflict.
No, that's not that can't be.
See, we know there's a temple nearby that was originally Elvish and has since been appropriated by other religions. There is a priest there. The town was actually founded sort of around the hand, and the priest is the person who might be able to give us some history as to the hand. That's what I seem to remember.
Yep.
All right.
Anything else you wish to accomplish this evening before you turn in? This is a good time to chat with, many of the denizens of the town are kind of congregated in the tavern and are significantly inebriated at this point. So this would be a convenient time to learn from them, or you could, but also maybe the accuracy of the information they tell you would be impeded.
So since the priest is asleep, should I just come back to the tavern and start chatting people too?
Sure.
Could I inquire from the bartender, perhaps, who are sort of some of the more notable denizens of the city, if there's anyone we should talk to?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me remind myself of the name of the bartender who you briefly...
Barkeep!
Because she sent her to get the sheriff for you, I believe.
That's right.
So, let's see. So, just to remind you of some of the people you have met, you've already met Sheriff Ruth Willowmane.
Yes.
I don't know if you have formally met the barkeep of the Ever Shady Tavern, but her name is Amanda Jess, and she's behind the bar, one of the few people that is not significantly inebriated, because she's running a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you want to talk to her?
Yes.
Curious?
Absolutely. I will belly up to the bar. I will order a pint of the finest and say, "We are but mere travelers to this town, looking to learn a little bit about it and its history. Who would you suggest we talk to for that?"
New in town. We're just a nice little village here in the valley, and we people keep to ourselves. Good people. Don't be causing no trouble now.
Oh, we wouldn't dream of causing
you met
trouble.
The sheriff.
we only killed about 5 people. It'll be fine. I'm sure
They
it's
were
gonna be
bad
fine.
people, I'm sure.
So I've come back into the bar at this point. And I'd like to know, does the barkeep have any tattoos?
She appears to be tattoo-free,
So
or at
she
least
doesn't-
as far as you can tell.
Okay. Okay, so she doesn't have any sort of military background in common with the sheriff or anything like
No.
that.
Is there anything based on her demeanor or anything? She seems a little potentially evasive. I can't tell because there's something I can suss
You
out.
may also be a little potentially annoying, QRS, so that's...
So why don't I belly up to QRS and say, "Hey, how are you?" And then I ask
my good friend,
the barkeep
Gwyndiel.
her name and introduce myself, and I say, "Hi, I'm Gwyndiel the cleric, and you are."
Amanda Jess, this is my establishment. Welcome.
Thank you. Could I please have a glass of something that doesn't have anything floating in it?
Indeed.
Thank you.
You're given a tankard of ale.
Excellent. Hoppy. So I have a quick question. What time does the priest tend to get up and start his morning rites?
I think he gets up at good Elevin Sarah song. He'll be up and about before dawn each morning. It's kind of a dawn till dusk operation over there.
Elven Sarah song. And
Yeah.
To whom is the temple currently devoted?
It's the Temple of Light.
About this. It's a Temple of Light and
Yes.
Elven Sarah song. How long has the Reverend Sarah song been in your village?
She's been here for a good number of years. I think I don't know. I guess as long as I've been around.
Oh my goodness! Wow. I want to be sure I approach her respectfully. Can you give me any advice on how to petition your dear Reverend?
Don't talk too loud.
Okay, so not loud. Also, I can't help but notice that your Reverend, your barkeep, and your sheriff are all women. Is this I think it's great. But
I don't recall asking for your permission.
No,
so.
You didn't. We don't. But I'm just out of curiosity. Is this just like a wild coincidence, or is this the kind of village where the women are in charge of everything?
Look, I think you know who gets the job done.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. And just to be
nice Hamilton couple.
In the interest of full transparency, the lord of the town, Lord Marlon White Sparrow, is the leader of the town, but he's a young lad, and
Yeah. So you're all regents, lady regents, a whole bunch of lady regents.
Well, I'm just a simple business owner.
I don't know. You're running a tavern. I feel pretty good about your.
I also run the spa next door.
See, there you go.
Spa.
Yeah.
Yes, there are hot springs.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. How much do the hot springs cost?
We can work out a price. I saw you. It looks like you just came into some money. We can make a deal.
We can. Do you have rooms above the tavern? We're really tired.
I believe your traveling companions have already taken care of it and placed the deposit.
Wow, that's excellent. Okay, great. This ale is really good, by the way. Thank you.
I should mention, you seem like the adventurer types. You might like Gavin Greyhorn. He owns the Greyhorn Outfitters down the street. Adventuring gear and whatnot. I don't know. He's one of those guys that always has a story.
That's good because we could use some rope that is not made of silk.
Yeah, you seem like story types.
It is the best of rope.
So is Gavin's outfit open now, or do we have to wait till tomorrow morning?
I suspect he is closed. In fact,
is he here in the tavern? Can you point him out to us?
Not.
Okay, so he's not in the tavern.
But it is.
Is he another to sundown operation too?
Probably a little bit after sunup to a little bit after sundown.
Okay, all right, sounds good. If he's not out adventuring himself, all right. But Gavin's got a.
He's retired.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm really tired. This ale is gone straight to my head after a long day of listening to Arturo die. Does anyone else want to go to bed yet?
No, I've got to drink a few hundred gallons of mead. A few tankers of mead.
I thought I might regale.
Unit conversion is hard for Karakan.
I thought I might regale some of the patrons with a tale or a song before retiring.
Never mind, I'm going to bed now.
Out of the bar before that happens.
Neil, I am going to follow you
I'm
up.
I'm very good at music.
Right.
Gwendil and Thamia head up to the rooms while oh my god, I've already forgotten your character's name. QRS finds that rusty dulcimer and gives it a polish.
Polishing the rusty dulcimer.
Oh boy,
Do not look that up, people.
Play Free Dragon.
The old day Urban Dictionary.
Let me just check in with Aline. Lee, do you want to be up to anything while these people are doing what they're doing?
I am going to bed.
All right. So it seems like QRS, you're going to play a song. Karakan, what about you?
I don't know if the bartender is too annoyed. Should I check and see if the bartender is annoyed, or can I just start asking her questions too?
Roll insight.
All right. Oh, okay. How do I do that?
Roll a d20. Is insight
0?
There you go.
So let me do. Wait. So
just
roll
d20 and add 0.
I got an 8 plus 0 is, I believe, 80.
To you, she seems great.
Wait, say that again.
She seems great. She seems like she's totally talked to you more, as far as you can tell, with an 8.
That's right, as far as I can tell. So I'm looking. I heard you talking about cloaks. I'm interested in a new cloak because
I don't recall bringing up cloaks.
I thought you were talking about cloaks. Weren't you talking about? Oh, you were talking about.
Is this a bit?
You're just talking about outfitting supplies. I thought, we've got.
Did I hear you say cloak?
We got cloaks. I thought someone said cloaks. I may be misinformed. I do need a new cloak. This is getting filthy.
Wow, you're really embracing that 8, Glenn.
He's just really playing his character.
Yeah.
This is delicious mead, by the way.
Tony, I'll have you know, I'm going to make an actual performance check so I can prove I'm not terrible at this.
All right, it all runs on this, Dan.
I rolled a
What do you
15 and my performance is +5, so I got a 20.
Ooh.
People are very entertained.
Excellent. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I am.
I got a bad rep.
Throwing their pantaloons.
Literally,
at the
actually,
stage.
one of my background feature is literally bad reputation. So this all makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Dan, are you one of those bars that only plays Joan Jett covers? Is that your deal? So
On the bagpipes, nonetheless.
yeah,
Right.
Rusty Dulcimer.
I've seen worse bands open for They Might Be Giants. So. All right, Karakun, the barkeep, Amanda Jess, seems very confused by you. Perhaps you've had enough.
This is what most people's reaction is to me. So to me, it seems perfectly normal. Yeah, I was thinking about going down that hole tomorrow. It's I know it might be ill-advised, but I want to repeat it.
That is extremely ill-advised.
Does anybody go down that hole, or is there something worthwhile down there? Something shiny, made of metal?
I assure you, for your own safety and the liability of an establishment that has served you alcohol, please do not go in that hole.
It's very tempting.
Don't do it. I'm so sick of talking about the hand. That's all tourists ever ask about is the hand.
Well, what about that castle up north? It seems like is that inhabited? I heard that someone lived there 10 years ago, and I just wonder. We're trying to find hospitality, maybe find a adventure to go on. We killed like 5 guys. I mean, we killed 5 guys. So
you killed 5. Does the sheriff know about this?
Yeah, probably. She paid us. She knows about
But where are we going to get our
She paid us.
hamburgers?
You murdered 5 people in town?
Not in town, of course not. That would be.
Oh,
ridiculous.
okay, never mind.
It was
That's
on
fine.
the
Then.
road. They were bandits.
Oh,
Sheriff knows all
bandits.
about it. Sheriff paid us
Were
5 gold pieces.
Were they the Blade characters?
Well, they said all kinds of things as they were dying, so I'm not sure if I kept track of them all.
Well, you were asking about some structure.
Did Tasty Pete live here? It seemed like an odd name to have.
I am familiar with Tasty Pete.
Yeah, was he a problem? He seemed like a problem.
He owes me like 15 copper pieces.
Oh, well, what if I made it up to you? I'm sure I've got 15 copper pieces here. I could pay you back and
Are
make
you
it right.
part of his estate?
Nothing to do with him whatsoever. I'm just very generous.
This interaction is very confusing, sir.
Very drunk. I had way too much to drink.
Look,
Thank you very much.
to answer your question, 1, don't go in the hole. It's dangerous. That scaffolding is really old. People fall down there. They break their necks. People have been coming to this town to study the magic hand. That's not magic.
Wait, hold on. Did I miss something here? Is that hand magic?
For like hundreds of years, no one ever finds anything. The only thing, sometimes people get a headache and bad dreams. Let me save you, like there have been so many graduate students who have come here and not written a dissertation. Let me save you 5 years and a significant amount of tuition. Don't do it. To answer your other question, there's not a castle north of here. There's a tower. There's an old watchtower.
It's got a name, right?
Lonely Torch. And to relate to your earlier comment, why am I still talking to you? That used to be the base of the aforementioned Nightblades.
Yeah, I'm just curious. It's called a Lonely Torch. They light a torch and put it up in the top of the. What are they doing? Why is it called
I
that?
suppose they did back when it was a watchtower. Now it's just abandoned.
I see.
QRS has transitioned.
I think it was meant to be poetic and evocative.
A bagpipe.
Sir, I think you should go to.
I think I'm going to. Where's my room?
She points you upstairs.
I'm going to go up that. Oh, okay.
2 of her sons run over to help you up the stairs.
You're very kind.
Q has
what
transitioned into a
next morning?
bagpipe version of All Along the Watchtower, and he's using prestidigitation to do like a laser show.
All right. At this point, roughly half of the tavern inhabitants are passed out, but the other half are very into it. Dan, roll a low performance with advantage because you're building a good set here.
That's an 18.
Whoa!
All right, yeah, they're
Nice.
very into it. Dan, I am going to tell you, you have earned inspiration. Inspiration is the closest thing I have to a control on this game. Inspiration is a thing where the dungeon master thinks you did something particularly in your character's nature, and inspiration is basically one free reroll of your choosing. You can also, I believe, give inspiration to other people, right?
Indeed, players can give you can only ever have one at a time, and you can gift it to another player in an opportunity if they need it.
Yeah. Now, Kiaris, do you want to do anything else before? It seems like people are winding down. I think
that's my
you
big
get
finish.
given the. Yeah, so it seems like it's probably time for, there's like a local sound ordinance, probably should no more playing. I don't know if you need to ask any questions before you two head up to bed.
I don't think so.
Did you get any tips?
Did I get any tips?
You got, let me roll my percentile dice. Wow, yeah, you got 88 copper pieces.
Woohoo.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's pretty
wow.
good.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good question, Thamia.
They did toss a coin to their bard.
Yeah. All right, and so you head to bed as well, QRS, it sounds like.
Yep.
Congratulations, you have survived one day in Dungeons and Dragons.
Very good.
Some of you are up bright and early the next morning. Let us say that Thamia and Lee, you are the first out of bed and to head downstairs to the tavern. Yeah, we'll say QRS and Karakhan and Gwendiel will be a little bit later. The tavern, the Ever Shady Tavern, serves a special breakfast sandwich. It appears to be what can only be described as leftover stew on 2 pieces of burnt toast.
Yes.
Ugh.
Thamia is very excited.
Guys, I think describing food in Dungeons and Dragons is one of my favorite parts because in my world the food is always so. It's like the opposite of a Redwall book where they go on for like 7 pages about how great like one tart is. So this is like, yeah, enjoy your burnt bread.
Yes, I will. Then I will go outside in the upcoming sun and do my morning exercise thingies to get all warmed up for the day.
Excellent. Lee, what about you?
I am going to check out the pit.
Okay. Everyone is very interesed in this giant monster.
You can't put a giant hand in a pit in a town and not have people wonder about it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just saying.
It's not like a really big
Tony.
tree. I mean,
It's Chekhov's
You're
giant
trying
hand,
desperately
Tony.
to
It's
get
gotta
us
go
up to
off
the
its
tower
own.
in the north, and we were all just hung up on this hand, aren't we?
Just as an aside, there's like 10 adventures in this book. They probably don't solve the hand one in the first adventure.
I like the idea that there's a giant Chekhov's gun somewhere that the hand is trying to
Yeah.
get.
You put a hand in the
Like
gun.
in adventure number 10, the second hand pops up and it turns
Yeah.
out it's just like doing a dance.
I want to know where the feet. It's like Easter Island. There are feet
Mhm.
down there somewhere.
So probably there's a lot in between, but how do hands work? So Lee, you are out looking at the hand. The pit is empty. There's no one around. Seems like the town is a little bit of a late riser. There's not a lot of foot traffic, and what little foot traffic there is stays away from the pit.
Okay. I just want to look at it. Like I don't want to.
Yeah, it's it's a nice sight.
Meditation by the hand.
Yeah.
Tourism.
The tavern totally in the shadow of that hand. It's kind of nice. It's peaceful. Just you and the rising sun and the birds and a giant hand. Yep.
Are there
normal
any
anything-
birds like landing on the hand, or are they like repelled by it somehow?
Yeah, there's
What does she see?
there's some rock doves up there.
Are they instantly vaporized when they land on it?
No, they're just sitting.
Just checking.
Yeah.
And I think after checking out the pit, I'm gonna, I just wanted to see because the people in the tavern were talking about it last night. But I'm gonna wander to the general shop and check to see what's in there.
Okay. So there is an Adventure Outfitters operation run by Gavin Greyhorn. So you go in, there's a little bell, dingle, dingle, dingle. And it's your kind of general store, which is to say it's filled with all kinds of gear and equipment that one might take for mining or fishing or hunting or just all and out adventuring. So, of course, there's rope in various sizes and lengths and qualities. There's some very basic gear and armor and weapons. And there's kind of kind of an old, portly dwarf behind the counter. Looks like he was reading a newspaper as you came in. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome
Nice store.
to Greyhorn Outfitters. I'm Gavin Greyhorn.
Thank you. What do you have by the way of rope?
Oh, we've got several ropes. He takes you over to a rope display, and there's several different types of rope. You need of some rope? What do you look like you could use 50 feet?
Yeah, I think some general adventuring rope would be, all-purpose rope.
This first rope here, this is sucker's rope. What you want here, let me tell you a little bit about rope.
Okay.
I know it's
a
a
rope podcast.
My friend has some silk rope, but it just doesn't seem reasonable.
What is he? Some kind of jaunty singing pirate?
Actually, yeah.
Silk rope.
Somewhere Cueris just woke up. Cueris in the inn. Someone's talking about me.
Can you imagine trying to imagine that you fought a bunch of enemies and then you had to take a captive and question him and tying him up with silk rope?
I know, right?
What a
Ridiculous.
sight. So let me tell you, here's the key to buying rope. What you don't want to do is you don't want to buy the cheapest rope. Cheapest rope is no good. That said, there's not that much difference between rope. So you don't want to buy the most expensive rope. What you really want to get is mid-range rope. This is some mid-range rope here, and he sells you some mid-range rope.
Okay. How long have you lived in town here?
Oh, going on about 15 years. Used to be an adventurer, just like yourself, I reckon. But I've been retired eventually. Adventuring, it's hard on the knees. That's what they don't tell you.
Oh, that's good to know. What kind of adventures did you go on?
Oh, we would fight monsters and we would find treasure. Have to say I had to put down a few orcs. They were, they had it coming.
They're the worst.
Seen a couple bandits. I almost killed a dragon. It's complicated. But your traditional adventuring stuff. What about you? How has the life on the road been treating you so far?
Just ran into some bandits yesterday. It was pretty intense, but is there an adventure that you wish you'd gone on, maybe somewhere around here that you just never got the chance to fulfill?
Not really. I mean, I had a full life, earned some money, decided to open a shop, live the easy life, got married, had some kids. Things have been good to me.
Sounds peaceful.
Yeah, this is a nice town.
Excuse me.
Would you'd recommend settling here? I don't know.
Sure.
I'm feeling a little weary lately.
Things are quiet here. Peaceful.
Until we can.
For the most part.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the rope. I hope I'll see you around.
You too. Stay safe out there.
Thank you. Stay safe in here.
The bell on the door jingles as you go out. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Meanwhile, back at the tavern, Yaris and Gwendiel and Karakun have come downstairs and been offered.
I assume I'm just face down in a vat of coffee for the first half hour. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got a big glass of eggs in front of me that I'm drinking.
No. I'm avoiding looking at the eggs while I'm just looking at my coffee.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are no eggs in the town, so he's actually just drinking stew, but he doesn't realize it.
I had terrible dreams last
Really
night. I'm
hungover.
still kind of headachy, and I only had that one glass of ale too. But yeah, I had really bad dreams, didn't I?
It seems like the Ever Shady Tavern does not do much of a brisk breakfast crowd. It seems like it's basically just you and the sons of the proprietor are kind of running around taking care of tables and stuff. Looks like there's still some cleanup to do from last night. So it doesn't seem like there's really anyone around else to talk to, unless you want to chat up the sons of Amanda Jess. Yeah.
I feel like I should stride dramatically out with my glass of eggs and find someone to accost.
Sir, the glass can't leave the premises.
Oh, sorry, I'm terribly sorry.
I'll chase him down. Hi.
Okay.
Have you lived here your whole life?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 14.
You're 14.
My name
you're
Wes.
just the age to what your name is Jess?
Wes.
Wes Jess.
So your name is Wes
Jess.
Jess.
Is your mother
Alright,
cruel
so
woman?
Wes Jess, you're just the
yes.
age to become a night ranger. Oh, excuse me, night blade. Like, have you ever considered that?
My mom warned me about the night blades. I'm not going to do that. I have a legitimate job.
Did any of your friends ever join?
Maybe some of the older kids.
Some of the
But
older kids.
my mom says they're bad. They don't study it. They don't work hard. And they're going to
so-
get murdered by adventurers.
well, not all of them are going to get to inherit a tavern like you are they?
Well, 1/3 of a tavern.
So you got two brothers too?
Yeah.
That's another-
Kinslow over there. Balaham.
Have all three of you lived in the town your whole life, like you've never gone anywhere?
Yeah.
All three of you, huh? Do you ever
Yeah.
talk to Gavin, who runs the adventure store?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Could you walk me over there and introduce me?
I really have some work to do here, but it's like right across the street.
No, I'll take you there. I wanted to get a new cloak, and I need to look for some shiny metal.
Sir, can I have that tankard back?
Oh yes, of course. Here you are, West Jess. I'm sorry.
He
Somehow-
Here's a
dumps out-
copper for your troubles. I don't
It's-
know why.
I'm just
It's
gonna
now
drink
full
my-
of hard-boiled eggs somehow.
Magic.
Drink my
He-
coffee here.
He dumps out the hard-boiled eggs on the ground and before heading back into the tavern.
Another. It's delicious. All right.
All right,
about
so
All right.
several of you, just to be clear, I think at this point, 4 out of 5, if not all 5 of you, are basically congregated outside the tavern if you wish to converse and make a plan about
Well,
what the heck you're going to do.
I can't figure out. We got paid for that one, the one guy we brought in alive, and we should have brought in all 6 of them. But seems like we've got a mission. We've got something to learn. We need to go to that castle. It's a tower. It's a
No,
tower.
I'd like to go talk to the adventurer some more because I'd like to ask him what led him to settle down here. And
I think we need horses and to ride into victory.
Or
Yeah,
the temple.
yeah, I'd like to go there. So here's my to-do list for the morning. I would like to hand back this coffee cup before poor Wes notices it's missing. And then I would like to go to the outfitter and talk to him for a little bit and see what's up in his world. And then I'd like to go to the temple and see if I can catch the priest too. Because
I would
I
suggest.
must know more about that hand. Why am I dreaming about it?
Oh, well, you did stare at it. That's on you.
Yeah. I'm staring at
Don't
it now.
stare at
It's
things.
enormous.
I would
Careful what you
suggest
stare at.
It's
you know,
manicured. Like,
you're
why
in a
is it-
town. Nothing bad happens in towns. I would split up to cover more ground. So pick some people to go different places, people.
All right. Karakon, do you want to come with me to the outfitter and get
Yes.
your new cloak and some shiny stuff?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
And
and-
Yaris and
Wait, Lee, did you just come from the outfitter?
I did. I bought some rope. Look at this beautiful rope.
Oh man.
That
that's
way we can
gross.
save the silk rope
It's not
for special
silk,
occasions.
but it's all right.
We can save it for special occasions.
Is that
Did you
mid-range
talk to
rope? It looks
Gavin
like
at the
mid-range rope.
outfitter?
It's mid-range rope. He
Oh, thank goodness.
recommended it. Yeah.
So when you talked to Gavin, did he say anything like about the hand or his adventures or why here or anything like that?
Not really. No, I asked him if there were any adventures that he felt like he should have completed before he settled down, and he
Mm-hmm.
didn't really say much.
So I thought he was talkative. Huh. Wow.
I mean, he was very articulate and nice, but he just didn't talk about his adventuring life a whole lot. Just that he'd been here and there and got the adventuring out of his system, basically. But you are much better at asking questions than I am. I lived in solitude for so long. I'm not great at talking to people. I tried.
This is basically going to be like all of us in a week and a half, by the way.
That's why we podcast, so we can keep our talking skills.
too real.
So besides the outfitters
Yeah.
and the
I know,
temple,
Aline,
was
I
there
just got
another
hit with
place?
this wave of yeah.
It's your standard small town stuff. There does happen to be a spa. There's various other shops. Not
Is
a
it
lot.
like a
though.
farmer's market
Blacksmith.
or someplace where you can pick up some produce for the road?
They just have farms. So,
Yeah, I don't think produce travels very well either.
I think Q
No, I
will
was hoping to
wander
get some dried
over
apricots
to
or
the
something.
temple.
Thamia and Lee, do you want to go with Q, or while the other two go into the general store?
Yeah, I'm here to just beat things up. So
All right, let's do that. So
Good.
Thamia, Lee, and Yaris head across town to the
We'll
Temple
meet you
of
at the
Light.
temple. We'll meet you at the temple, guys. See you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
And the Temple of Light looks like there are a couple townsfolk kind of streaming out of the Temple of Light who are probably there to, pray at dawn and then go about their day. And the Temple of Light is really nice in the morning. It really, there's these nice statues of elven figures, and there's all these kind of little crystals that catch and reflect the light. And it seems like a variety of, I don't know how much you know about the Temple of Light faith, but, it seems to be one of your, there's really no other way to say this in Dungeons & Dragons, good religions. They don't seem to engage in blood sacrifice is what I'm saying. This is not the Temple of Light and Destruction.
Darn.
Yeah. And there's a kind of middle-aged elf, which means probably much older than any of you humans, making her way around. She's wearing kind of long white robes, seeing to various things around the temple. Now that whatever morning services and rituals have concluded.
Good morrow to you.
Welcome, travelers.
This is quite a nice temple you have here. I've seen a few temples of light in my travels, but this one is very fine indeed.
Oh, thank you. Please stay a while and bask in the glory of the light.
Don't mind if I do. So, have you been in White Sparrow long?
Oh, yes, many decades at this point.
Many decades. Well, I'm sure there must be interesting tales. I am a bit of a storyteller. I collect tales. I was curious if you had any notable stories of this town and its history.
I don't know anything about the hand, if that's what you want to ask about.
Is there a hand? I hadn't even noticed.
Thank you.
But perhaps the denizens of the town, or I don't know, perhaps some conflict. I do hear there used to be a band of ragamuffins a decade or so ago.
Oh yes, the Nightblades. They were quite some trouble.
Nightblades, yes.
This is I prefer not to talk about it. It was a moment of darkness in our fair settlements past. We've moved beyond it.
So nothing like that happens these days then.
Well, do you know the story of the Nightblades?
I do not, please. I would love to hear it.
Well, you can set it to bagpipe later.
10 years ago, two brothers from fair White Sparrow formed the Nightblades. And unfortunately, they set about, recruiting other people who turned to a life of crime. And they started with theft and upgraded to assault and eventually murder. And unfortunately, the townspeople eventually had enough of it, and they all went and they marched up to the tower where these hoodlums lived, and they chased them out of the tower, and they chased them across the countryside, and they eventually cornered the gang in a barn. And the villagers, they set the barn ablaze, and it said only the leader of the Nightblades made it out, and he was imprisoned. It's not a good moment for justice or for it does not reflect well in our town, be it the brothers who started the Nightblades, nor the villagers who took vengeance into their own hands.
This leader, This leader that survived, was he one of the two brothers?
Yes, Ralavaz.
Ralavaz. What was his brother's name?
I believe his brother's name was Garjan.
Okay, very interesting. Well, it sounds like, as tragic as it is, it would make a very interesting ballad, perhaps. With a bit of a moral to it.
Yes, perhaps something that would keep the other young men and young women of White Sparrow away from such lives of banditry.
Yes, that's what we must look to, the young generations. I suppose they don't.
Perhaps you could steer them more toward the Church of Light.
I'm certain that a song or a tale might very well help with that. I will make some notes of it. Do you have concerns about any of the young folks around here in particular? You see them following in these footsteps?
There has been talk that the Nightblades are back, and I do not like it.
Do you know where they are located?
I do not. Not here. Here, if they were here among the glory of the light, they would be protected. They would see the light.
Well, that is most distressing to hear about, obviously, and I'll think on perhaps concocting some sort of song that might stray them back to the correct path.
Peace be with you.
Do you know why people are so attracted by this life of banditry? It sounds incredibly dangerous, and this town is so lovely.
Oh, I think it's, the youth. They're looking for a shortcut to riches, and some of them are just not willing to put in an honest day's work and to spend their evenings and mornings with the here at the Temple of Light in their days, toiling in the fields, and so they go to the roads and they prey on caravans and merchants and adventurers such as yourselves, just trying to make their way, make the world a better place, trying to steal their money.
Millennials. What are you going to do about them?
Indeed.
The Utes.
They've killed the silk and rope industry.
Yeah. So I hope these are just rumors, these new Nightblades. Maybe it's just some kids playing at the stories they heard growing up.
Idle talk,
I
I'm
hope
sure.
so. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It has been most enlightening.
I see what you did there. Let me know when that song's ready.
Yes, I'll workshop some things.
May the light guide your path. Anything else you want to ask here at the Temple of Light?
Thamia, got any questions?
I'm trying to think, but my Goliath brain just isn't up to
all good.
the speed with the rest of these really smart people. I just like to take care of my friends.
All right.
And
Meanwhile, across town at why can't his name stick in my head?
Gavin, I think.
Gavin
I
Greyhorn.
remember Gavin, the same name as that ghost.
Oh, you were really good with
No.
names.
Gavin Greyhorn.
I wrote it
proprietor-
down, Lisa.
Gavin. Oh, okay.
Greyhorn Outfitters. God help him. Gwendil and Carrickton in the door. Rings
Okay,
the bell.
Carrickton-
Well, hello, good sir. I
Well met,
Keep your hands
adventurers.
where I can see them at all times.
thought
Me-
what?
Are you,
Keep your
Me,
hands where I can
or-
see. No, him, the guy I'm with.
Oh.
I want to apologize in advance. He likes the shiny things. Keep your hands where I can see them.
well,
I
if
can
this
pay
is
for
too
everything.
distracting, I'd be happy for you to wait outside and I could bring you things that you wanted to see.
No. I think I can. I really want as a cloak. I have. I need a little more freedom of motion. As
Curbside
you can tell,
pickup?
I'm 3.5 feet tall, so it's hard to find a good cloak. So I need.
Oh,
something
sir,
that's-
he steps off a little stool and you can see that he is a dwarf.
Oh,
so he
you
is
know exactly what I'm talking about.
He is an average-sized dwarf, which is to say the height of a short human. And he takes you over to the cloak section, and he measures you, and there's a variety of materials and
Well, they kind of cut out from the
color
bottom,
choices.
so
To
when I open it up, it shows a different color underneath. The kind of
Oh, yeah,
vents,
reversible. It's a
vents.
little bit more,
Kind of
but not
vents.
as much as 2 cloaks, I always say.
That's great.
Sir,
Sells a lot of
what color could we interest you in today?
green, of course.
And now, are you thinking like a forest green or a grass green or
Forest green. I want to fade in with the forest as I
so you'll be
under
going
my
into the
leaves.
forest. Okay, and for the interior,
red.
May I
shocking
suggest-
red. Oh, sorry.
I was going to suggest darkness, but yes, also red. Hold on.
Darkness might be better if I'm looking for some kind of way to
Nothing fits
hide
you as
myself.
well as a made-to-measure custom cloak. Use promo code TotalPartyKill for 20% off today.
Cloaks. Have you gotten your cloak today?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't have a green with red lining in stock, but I can have that put together. My wife does them in house, and we could have something ready for you in a day or two's time, max.
By then, we will be far off to the north. Am I right? Gwendil will be journeying.
You sure you don't want me to just send it over to the shady tavern,
No,
tavern for you?
I'll just take something off the shelf. It's fine.
All right. How about this black cloak?
That's good enough. I like it. What's
Never
the
wear
material?
off the
All right.
rack.
Check to make sure it's got pockets, and you check the pockets, sir. Make sure he has.
It has pockets and it's wool.
Ooh,
Like it. Got it.
Mhm.
Sell
right.
me this cloak.
He rings you up for 1 cloak, gives you a handwritten receipt.
And then I pull my hands in my pockets and I put about 43 shiny things. Now all these too.
Yeah.
All these too.
What did I do?
He adds to a list of various trinkets. You've got some tent spikes and like a little ball for straining tea and just several lengths of wire.
Those going to really
some
handy.
of your
One
better
those
buttons.
Tavern puzzles.
Yeah.
No nuts.
Well,
and bolts.
he realized this list is getting long. He takes out little spectacles and puts them on. In his, all right. And anything for you, your clericship?
I mind if could I have like 5-10 minutes of your time, please?
Oh, of course.
All right. So Miss Jess over at the tavern said that you are a storied adventurer who happened to retire in this town.
Well, I am an adventurer. I do have some stories. I am
How
retired
long-
in this town.
Yes. So it's reassuring to know that she was right. What do you think of her?
Oh, she's good. You know, us local business owners have to stick together.
This is true. The Chamber of Commerce meetings must just rock. So why did you pick here to retire?
Oh, well, I met my wife from here, and she's from here.
Local girl. Okay.
Yeah, so many generations back.
Did you meet her while you were adventuring, or were you like stopped?
We
here
were
on your
passing through town, and I met her here and settled down.
Oh, did
You know, the
finish
band
your
was kind of
adventure, or
breaking
did,
up at that point.
Oh, so like you guys are like adventuring, but not really into it at the time.
Look, adventuring is a young man's game,
And you're
or
getting
young
retired.
person's game, I should say. No offense.
Mhm. So,
But you know, your knees go first and then your back. And let me tell you, when you're hauling a sack of gold, sure, it's a sack of gold and that's going to go a long way. But gold ain't lightweight, my friend.
no, it really isn't.
Not that I should complain. We should all have the troubles of hauling a sack of gold home.
No, a suitcase of gold is terrible. So I have another
Gotta put it in
question.
barrels.
You have a big hand in the middle of your town. And like I keep feeling weird in my head whenever I look at it or spend
Yeah, they
time-
recommend not to look at it.
Okay, like did that ever was that like in the minus column when you were thinking about settling down here, or do you just get used to it?
You just get used to it after a couple of years.
A couple of years. Oh my eye is killing me.
Well, you need to not look at it.
I could use some coffee. Do you have coffee? Like
I'm sorry, but I'm sure Amanda Jess does across the street.
Oh, like
Dry goods
no.
only here.
Oh no, I mean like a sack of like coffee grounds I can bring.
Oh,
with me for the road.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a sack of that.
It's
please.
very expensive.
Oh, do I have the money?
You're fine.
Okay.
But you
Your money's
feel
no
like,
good
you
here.
know, you feel like it's it's an indulgence. So
I'm just kind of whimpering as I hand over the money.
yeah.
And what can you tell me about the Temple of Light? Like, how long has that been in operation? Was it in operation when you were here?
Oh yeah, I think it goes back way before that. Well, you know, a lot of the people here are practitioners. I'm not myself, but
Mhm.
they seem like good people, down to earth.
Like
can
no
I
weird
interest you in
rituals or rites or anything like that?
Are they what was that?
No interest, no weird rituals or rites where they no human.
No, I mean, I
sacrifices?
think-
Okay, that's reassuring.
They pray at dawn and again at sunset and
Yeah.
are about the changing of the seasons and doing
Weird.
good works. I mean, you know,
Oh, okay, so
I have
your
nothing
usual-
against them.
your
It's
usual
just
nature. Your
yeah, I mean, it's just not how I was
usual
brought up.
nature religion. Okay.
Yeah,
So when
dwarves
you
are
were
a little bit
adventuring,
more in
did
touch
you-
with the earth. You know.
Yeah. I do know that actually. That's one of the few things I remember from Dwarves 101 in school.
Oh.
When you were adventuring, was like, did you ever go to the north? There's a tower to the north that we've been told we should check.
Oh,
out.
I passed by it. That's not far at all. I've been far and wide, and
Uh-huh.
you know, this valley's just where I retired to.
Like, is it a nice tower?
It's pretty decrepit, I'd say.
Okay, so not a nice tower. Like,
I mean, it
is
maybe
it
was
good
a nice
place for,
tower.
like adventurers or gangs to hole up in.
Maybe a hole up. It's not where. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there. It's
Mhm.
probably all ruined and you know can't smell good.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite adventure that you've been on?
Oh well, there was this time. We were in Waterdeep, and there was this huge fortune that had gone missing, and eventually we tracked it down. We had to turn it over to the local government, but for about 10 seconds, I was the richest dwarf you ever knew.
Listen, we killed about 5 guys on the way here.
You killed. Oh well,
and
they were bad guys, and you were outside city limits,
definitely,
right?
Definitely, sheriff.
All
knows
right, that's
that.
good.
Yeah, we're outside.
And
City. We've already talked to
I'm-
the sheriff. It's okay.
He gives you the insurer's nod.
Yeah, so you understand. One of them was Tasty Pete. I understand people did not like him very much. So
I've heard
I
of
think-
Tasty
think
Pete.
we've
He's
done a
banned from
service
here.
But I
So
feel
wait,
like
why was Tasty Pete such a problem?
I don't know. He was always stealing stuff.
He was very tasty.
I mean, it was, you know how some kids are just like bad kids. He was a bad kid.
Bad kid. Wow.
So I'm-
Are
I'm
his
concerned about
parents
this
still in
group he's-
town?
Or is what?
Are his parents still in town? Can we talk
I think he
about
was an
that?
orphan. I guess the system failed him. Really, is what I'm
Oh
saying.
my, yeah. Oh wow, wow, yeah. Have you guys ever considered like the Scandinavian state?
can I interest you in socialism, sir?
Yeah.
Sorry, is that somewhere in
Oh, the
Eberron?
baby
I'm
box.
unfamiliar with that.
I'm concerned about. He kept talking about. We got some information on these guys
Yeah.
about night blades, and we're adventurers. We're looking for something exciting.
Tasty
to do.
Pete is claiming to be a Nightblade. Huh.
Well, he
yes,
said he was
is. What
trying
can
to
you tell us
sing.
about the night blades?
Well, there was a whole thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Ralavaz, his brother,
Yeah.
they called themselves the Nightblades, and they were killing people. And eventually they went too far, and they got themselves killed. I think Ralavaz got sent to jail for life.
Is it typical to have bandits around here? Are there bandits all over the place?
No, this was a bad scene.
Were there any like freaky religious components with the Nightblades before?
No, they just were kids who wanted money.
Like 10 years ago. Because they're coming back. Like the guys who tried to kill us said that
this is not going to be good for my business.
And there was like a Night Lord involved, and
a Night Lord.
Yeah, they mentioned some figure that they're swearing.
I don't know what a Night Lord is, but I don't like it.
Did you ever run across a Night Lord type thing when you did your adventuring?
That sounds like something that somebody would call themselves.
Yeah, it does. It's a pretty.
I don't think that's a real thing.
So, since you did some adventuring, what road, like if we went to the south, how hard would the trip be?
Why are you going south?
Razzmatazz is there. Ralavaz.
Oh,
he's off the map. No, he's
Ralavaz. Oh yeah, but he's in like Fallcrest. That's like 2 weeks from here. You're never gonna see that guy again. Plus, he's in prison. You can't get in to see him. It's not like they let visitors in.
So you're saying we could fight our way in and kill a bunch of guys?
You're gonna murder a bunch of prison guards?
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
They're
Guys,
part of a broken
listen,
hold on.
It's been very dull on the road.
Let me just pull you aside. Adventure to adventure. What level are you guys?
I'm just starting out. I try to cast.
That's okay. It's all lining up.
He won't go to the second level with you guys.
I'm just saying, level 2, maybe don't take on the state is what I'm saying.
Wait until at least level 3.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to cast a good chaos bolt. Things went really wrong.
Yeah, I would work on that before you did. Yeah,
So-
chaos bolt first, prison reform second is what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Okay.
Anything else I can tell you?
You've been really patient with us, and I appreciate it. You get
Thank you
used
very
to
much.
the
Just be
game
careful
for
out there.
years. While you've been here and retired, has anyone tried to go into the pit with the hand?
Every now and then, some tourist or grad student comes by and goes into the pit with a hand, and they break a leg or worse, and then they're in the tavern for like a week while they're getting better, and they're incredibly annoying. Please stay out of the pit.
What university do they go to? There must be a great.
I'm sorry, I misplaced the pamphlet.
I'm very interested in our learning.
Sir, you've come to. There's no universities here.
I see, but there are graduate students. Got it.
Well, they journey here for their research.
I see. I'm a
So
little
they're
slow on that.
journeymen.
They're doing field research. This is the field.
We're in the field. Oh, the field. There's the pit. There's.
Are
the
you
field.
okay? Did you get hurt in this fight?
I had a lot of mead last night, and then I drank a lot of spoiled eggs.
I get it. Your first 5 gold pieces, and you had to
Yeah.
burn a hole in your head and your stomach, huh?
Buddy, this coffee is
and
not
I've been
cutting through the headache.
looking
I
at
have
that
from
hand.
That hand.
I've
Ugh.
been looking
I'm
at
just
that
saying,
hand and
Why
drinking
it's so
eggs.
annoying.
If you ever want to make it to level 3, go easy on the eggs, go easy on the mead. Stop looking at the goddamn hand.
Yeah, I think I might take your advice on the hand. It's giving me a huge headache. So we've got your basic hippie nature cult, a giant hand that people are like just fine not knowing anything about, and a bunch of
Suspicious that.
Oh my
All right.
gosh! And then the Sons of Anarchy. God.
Gwendiel and Karakan, you can see your friends milling around outside the general store.
Well, thank you for the coffee. I really appreciate it.
All right. He hands
Big
you
cloak.
your coffee, and he hands Karakan a bag of shiny objects.
All right.
So I think we have reached the most challenging part of every Dungeons and Dragons adventure. What is your plan for what you're going to do next?
To the tower.
Man, yes, I think we should go
The
to the tower.
tower.
Yeah, it's only an hour
Alright.
away. It's not that far.
I
Let's
feel
go.
entirely unprepared. Let's go.
All right. And so
Practice it.
our adventurers set off for the tower. Will they find fame or fortune? Will they find the Nightblades? What's the deal with a Night Lord? That's not a thing. Stop calling yourself a Night Lord. Stop trying to make Night Lord happen. Will they wish they had asked more questions in White Sparrow? Did they ask too many questions in White Sparrow?
No.
4
that's not it.
questions and answers to questions such as these. Tune in next time for Total Party Kill. Da-da-da.
4
4 more questions.
How's it going? We're doing good?
Everything's great.
Really?
Live stream, we're going to take, I think, a 5 or 10 minute break and then play some more Dungeons and Dragons. They're going to the tower.
To the tower. Well, we will take a quick break as soon as I fix one thing, which I'm doing now. Aren't you all glad you want to know that?
In you.
Great.
Was it important?
Yes, it was involved breaks. Goodbye, live stream. We'll be right back.
Hello, nerds! Welcome back to our live stream of Total Party Kill. We are continuing our Nightblade adventures. Just a reminder, you can always go to theincomparable.com/members and sign up to be a member. You do actually get some stuff. We give away some bonus content to our members. There's a members Slack where you can berate us and be nice to us. It's up to you. I don't know. Other stuff. This is not our members pledge month. This is just a week that we're playing a lot of Dungeons & Dragons and giving it away to you kind people on the internet who deserve it because we're all having a week. Special shout out to Jonathan, I'm not sure how to say your last name, Polly, who sent me a YouTube video of a cover of Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll as played on bagpipe. That has been retweeted on the @TPKill account because this is the kind of real-time live follow-up that this show was based on.
Sure,
also,
we're looking for.
The content we're looking for. Also, you literally tweeted it to us mid-episode, which is amusing because usually these episodes get edited and posted 6 to 9 months later, so I get weird out-of-context tweets from people. My favorite is the rules correction ones. It's always like, yeah, thank you. That was 9 months ago. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, that's a legitimate misunderstanding of the rules. But usually it's like, I can't do anything about that now, friend.
We have to call something out that's very important, given my particular history, which is Joseph Veneracion in the YouTube feed. His idea for the band name was that Aquarius' band name was They Might Be Half Giants.
Oh, gosh.
I know. And I was like, that's a winner.
One of them is.
Exactly.
And the rest might be, but they're not.
Must be.
All right. Any other things to get out of the way before we continue with our second session of the evening?
Rock and roll.
Let us do this thing.
Appear to have left the town.
Go.
Yeah. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I am Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master, the Dungeon Master, your Dungeon Master, and we are continuing our special mini-adventure, special quarantine edition of Total Party Kill with several lovely people. Allow me to introduce them in a seemingly random order. First up, it's Glenn Fleischman.
Oh my gosh, is it me?
It is.
Oh, goodness. Hello.
Glenn, can you remind us the name of your character?
I am Karakon. I'm a sorcerer who has surprising raccoon-like tendencies.
Indeed, he has. Next up, it's Kathy Campbell.
Hello, I am Thamia, and I am a Goliath fighter.
Also here, it's Lisa Smizer.
Hi, I am Gwyndiel, the cleric who asks more questions and gets no answers.
That's kind of half of that's on me. Also here, Aline Sims.
Hello, I am Lee, the Air Genasi monk.
And last but not least, it's Dan Morin.
It is I, Cueris, Bard Extraordinaire.
You can do this the whole time.
He's been throwing out more bards than...
I kid. Bards are a critical part of the Dungeons & Dragons ecosystem. All right, you are in the valley that is home to the town of White Sparrow. You are investigating a bandit problem or a bandit opportunity. There are some self-styled bandits who are calling themselves the Nightblades, and you have finally left the town in search of them. You have headed north as you were directed to a watchtower, or the ruined remains of a watchtower known as the Lonely Torch. It's not too hard to spot the watchtower in the distance from White Sparrow. It's a good hour and a half walk, trudging uphill, and you are within, you're getting pretty close to it at this point. Anything you want to be doing along the way or preparing yourselves for as you get closer and closer to the watchtower. Also, I hopefully have set it up so that you see a map that's kind of a side view of a tower on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
I know your characters are like looking down. The
And
tower is like a
flying.
side view. So like theater of the mind, people.
I'm a little worried that we're walking into a trap.
Now we're
Even
on
though no one knows we're coming necessarily. We were talking a lot in the town. We've been asking questions. We killed like 5 guys on the road.
Well,
Keep
last
telling
time,
people
I do
that we're
wonder
killing
about
guys.
all I'm saying is last time we were worried about walking into a trap. We owned that trap. So
It's
We
true.
still walked
We
into
pwned
the trap.
it.
I'm
It's
But I'm
fine,
wondering if
though.
we shouldn't
We're great.
look at... Is there
How
some
do we
kind
know
of
that one of those
spell?
boys at the
Hope we lost.
tavern doesn't have the night gang or the night blade?
There she is. We lost you for a moment.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Or I did.
Yes, it says my internet connection was unstable. Sorry. How do we know that those boys in the tavern don't have friends in the Night Blades? Everyone seemed to know who Sneaky Pete, Dirty Pete, whatever his name was.
Tasty Pete,
Tasty.
the most
Tasty.
logical
Yes,
adjective to apply to a person.
Please, please, some respect for the deceased.
Tasty Pete ran the unhygienic
Sir.
soft serve.
Sir Tasty Pete.
He ran the unhygienic soft serve ice cream
Yeah.
place in town.
Sir
Oh.
Tasty Pete of orphandom. You gave that
Yeah.
poor child a sad backstory. No one liked him.
Yeah, now he's,
But
now he's
how do
dead.
we know that
And now
word
he's
of,
dead, yeah.
yeah, how do we know that word of our exploits hasn't
I should hope Wood of our exploits precedes
Well,
us.
One thing you have going for you, you did get up early in the morning, and it's
Oh
you've been in
my
town less than
God.
24 hours.
Bandits sleep
So you
in.
got
Everyone knows that.
Yes. So I think we're fine. And if not, I'll just beat him over the head. We're
Also,
good.
Can we
Also,
cast,
if I
like, a
may remind
spell?
you, they are the night blades, not the early morning blades. We're
Oh.
That
fine.
is also a very good point.
Oh.
Blades of night.
I gotta
So
Here
we
out-
don't need to
here come the
cast, like, a
bagpipes.
spell for
move
perception
into the
or
back
Nothing
and
nothing
sneak
lets
up
you make a
here.
stealthy approach like bagpipes.
you're welcome to do whatever things you think would be useful to you, and I
I
will
don't
tell
know
you
how to do this, but I would
whether
like
they're
to
useful
cast,
or not.
I don't know how to do this, but I would like to cast some kind of spell to perceive something.
They're called eyes. They're called eyes, Karakan. You got two of them.
I want to know. I want to know if something's being planned. If there's people hiding. Is there away from me? Is there like a perception spell beyond my eyeballs?
Karakan, do you have anxiety? So
So
I know it's
Tony,
not
I have,
perfectly
like,
natural.
I have a DM question.
Yeah.
Since it's the next day, I can go back to having 3 spells at the ready for me, right? I can take.
I thought it was more than that even. But yeah,
you have
you-
Just-
five.
I can
You have 3 spell slots available.
3 spell slots and then an infinite number of
You-
cantrips.
Yes.
In D&D Beyond, just hit the long rest button, and it'll take care of everything for you.
Yep. And that is, I guess that's an important reminder. Anyone who was hurt and spent hit dice regains hit dice. You've
Oh, good.
a long right's nest. Long right's nest.
All right,
hold
that's
on.
our group name.
It's a puzzle. I can untangle this. One second.
Who-
A
Who
a
who let me have
wrong
a
a wrong light's nest. That's what you were
who
trying
let,
to say.
who let me have a podcast? A long
Podcast.
night's rest is extremely recuperative in Dungeons and Dragons world and fixes many ailments.
You can
Unlike
say
in the real
recuperative, but
world.
not long night's rest. That's the amazing part.
I have many failures. Talking is
You've had a
the
day.
source of many of them.
This day has been a month. It's all right.
Oh God!
What if I simply roll a perception check as we walk up the hill?
That would be delightful. Because
All right, you roll with disadvantage because of your friends.
Oh my god.
And the bagpipes.
You can roll normally.
I know, and I still got an 8, so it doesn't really matter.
I would like to roll perception because I have a +3.
Please do so. Somewhere in the 8 range, I'm guessing, based on your facial expression. Maybe a little
I
bit
rolled
less.
a 5.
I mean, you were really
+3.
smug about that, Kathy, but I have a +2. It's not the swing
Yeah.
is low.
I am also a +3
Yeah.
perception haver. Can I do a
It
roll?
turns
You can
out
roll.
that rolling
It
a
turns out they-
d20 is actually a bigger.
Oh, my God. This is the worst. I rolled a 1.
I feel like I have to do this too.
Yeah,
Come on,
all
Lee.
the cool kids are doing it.
9.
I'm a plus,
We're very perceptive this morning.
I am
It's
a
still
+3
early.
in deception.
In my
Would
defense, I
deception
slept
help you?
next to a
No,
giant
deception
leaping
would not
hand, and I have a headache that you wouldn't go away.
Deception is the opposite of perception.
Karakan, you were the only person that has not rolled perception. Would you like to roll perception?
I've got a +0.
I think you
so
have
I'm
to
gonna
at this
roll.
point.
It turns out, you still the
modifiers
pluses are
wouldn't
nice.
matter.
Roll,
I got a 1. This is amazing.
Oh my god,
Right.
we are just a bunch of
We're rolling
rollers.
We are
so
so
well.
Get them all out now, guys. The,
Yeah.
the
No, this is
perception
all
rolls.
practice.
You want
All
you
right.
want you want to
So-
waste the
All
ones
those
on
eggs.
that.
There's too many
You
eggs. this
guys
morning.
are trudging up the hill
Eggs.
to the lonely
We
torch,
see nothing.
carefree, totally focused on yourselves and each other. There's some humming, there's some chattering, there are jokes being told. You are
Bagpipe music.
completely
Bagpipes.
oblivious to the world
Oh
around you.
Oh
This is amazing.
no!
Oh, it was incredible.
And so you realize suddenly that your feet feel really bad. Your feet feel burny, which is not usually a condition that you want your feet to feel. You notice that you have been walking, and though you are on a path,
Oh my
the
God.
path, it's kind of a grassy path that goes through the tall grass up this long rocky hill, and the grass has turned from grass to this kind of glittering green with red tinged kind of weeds and thorny brambles, and it seems to be making your feet feel kind of burning.
I'm
So
going to do
what
a
I
nature
need you
check.
to do right now,
Oh.
it's a little too late for a nature check. You can discover what is happening to you afterwards, but right now, at first, it's happening to you.
All
I need
right.
you to make a Constitution saving throw. So you get to roll a d20 and add your Constitution modifier. The number you need to beat is 13, so that means you need to get 13 or higher.
You may have a bonus consult. You will have a saving throw section of your sheet. Just look for con on that because you're.
Saving.
So I have Constitution. So I just rolled a 5.
But it's a
'cause
saving throw, not necessarily just an ability check. There's a separate section because you
Okay.
may have additional bonuses. Not everyone.
I have
does.
Okay.
I got a 6. I rolled a 6, but under Constitution I have +1.
Oh,
And then under that a
Constitution.
12. Which am I looking at?
So
We're looking at
plus
the
one.
modifier.
Ah,
So
so
I
I got
had
7 total is what you're
14.
saying?
Yeah.
That's great.
I
So-
also
14 plus
failed.
5, I had 19.
I got 17.
I got a 9.
All right. It sounds like 3 people failed and 2 people succeeded.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
not-
the 2 people that succeeded,
Mhm.
you know, you have some kind of itching and burning in your feet. It's like some really bad poison ivy. For the 3 people who failed, this is incredibly uncomfortable. You feel like your feet are on fire. You take 7 poison damage, and you are poisoned for 1 hour. Dan, can you tell them what the poison state means?
Absolutely. Being poisoned is no fun, everybody. It's bad news. And when
You're
you
stalling while you look it up, aren't you?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Yeah. Dungeon
You
Master
don't have it-
recognized.
you don't have
Dungeon
it.
Master.
You don't When you are poisoned, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. And
So unfortunately, when you're poisoned, you're basically kind of distracted, and your ability to attack or really do anything is compromised.
I would also like to quickly say, Glenn, what did you roll?
A 6 + 1. So
Okay,
7.
you actually have a +3 on your Constitution saving throw, which is different from your ability check.
Still not enough.
Not enough, but close. Just to note
Okay.
note that for the future, the saving throws are slightly different from ability checks, and there should be a
Oh, where
separate
do I
section.
find that? Oh, I see it. I see that now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I'm sorry. What's disadvantage on all which checks?
Ability checks and attacks.
So
Oh.
basically, like everything.
Anything, yeah, pretty much anything except a saving throw.
Can we
Yeah.
get someone to heal,
do
do
a
some
nature-
healing, or no?
I
You have a
do
cleric?
have oh gosh, if only you had a cleric, and I have a medicine +5. Can I do a medicine check?
You could absolutely do a medicine check. Now, are you yourself poisoned?
No, I am not.
Oh, good. That's good.
Oh.
So, yeah. So you, I mean, I guess the first thing to think about is like, it seems like the stuff that you're standing on is hurting you. Do you
I
want to do
would-
something?
I would really rather do a nature check first, which
Okay.
is this will tell me what my ability to recall lore about terrain, plants, and animals, and see
This
if there's
is-
anything I've ever heard about.
Yeah.
So this seems like right up my alley. I roll a 20, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's not great. I rolled a 3, and I just had a +3 with nature, so that's 6 total.
It seems like these plants are bad, Gwendiel.
These
Okay.
plants are on fire.
Please
Okay,
stop encroaching
so
on
why
my
don't I-
territory.
So I have.
You're very busy
burning.
burninating right now.
Okay, so you guys are all poisoning and rolling around. It's kind of distracting.
My feet, my furry feet.
oh my
Would you like to
goodness.
run over and
Those small furry
provide
feet.
I would
medicine,
like
a
to
medicine
do-
check for
I'd
somebody?
like to do a medicine check. Okay, so what were everybody else's scores? I know I know that
I got a 9.
Karakon's was a 9.
9.
They're all equally, and
They're all equally in pain.
We
poisoned.
all failed at our
Um,
resisting.
I had 1
Well, I
job.
don't-
Everybody
I
but
don't see
Kathy
how-
and Lisa, right?
All
Yep,
right,
I'm
gonna
good.
go with Lee the monk first. And
All right.
I'm gonna do a medicine
Fine.
check on
Roll
that.
a medicine check for
Fine.
Lee the monk.
All right, let me roll a medicine check for Lee the monk. Okay.
Medicine check. Is that like some kind of healthcare program in this world?
So 9 plus the +5 I have is 14.
Oh wow, +5.
Are we
That's a big
in
deal.
network?
Network medicine.
You may get a
You
bill
have
later.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gwendiel, you run over and you look at the horrible kind of stores on Lee's feet. Lee, what kind of shoes do monks wear?
They don't.
Yep.
Spats.
Yeah.
Wear like the tabby,
Birkenstock,
like the
Birkenstock, Arizona's.
you wear like tabby, like the socks with the big toe.
No, I'm
Mm.
Scrooge
Oh,
McDucking
God.
it, where
Oh.
it's the sole
Wait,
is
no pants?
No.
That's Porky
But
Piggy.
like a
Get
top
your,
hat?
Get your half-dressed
Yeah,
animals.
why
straight.
not?
I love it.
Yeah.
With
So
a top hat and spats.
so Gwendil puts some non-poisonous plants on the wounds and wraps it up, and you are no longer poisoned. You are still down those 7 hit points, but you are not
Okay.
poisoned, which means that
I'll
you
take
will
it.
you will not you no longer have disadvantage on all those
It's
things.
nice. It's
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Can I do medicine checks in the other two, or am I limited?
Yeah,
to
do it.
medicine?
Nope.
All right. Oh well. All right, Chorus. I suppose we can't do without the bagpipes. So let me run a medicine check on you.
I'm standing in a
18
burning
plus
patch
5
of
is
grass.
23.
23.
You're
You're feeling a
Wow.
little better, QRS.
Cool. So I'm no longer poisoned, but I still took 7 points of damage.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool beans.
All right. So one more turn for
Please,
my
I implore you.
Karakhan. Show me what's in your pockets for no.
It's 73 pieces of various metal.
Okay, I rolled a 6, so 6 plus 5 is 11.
You are unable to
Can I-
heal Karakhan's.
Can I
wait.
assist
Sorry,
her?
I'm so tired.
Actually, yes. Would you like to explain to Lisa how assisting works?
Do I remember? I think I roll, and if I do well enough, it adds 2.
I think
Is that-
I think you give
Or
advantage.
Yeah.
Give advantage. Okay.
That made
So that
what it-
means you get to roll again, Lisa.
if
Oh, okay.
if do you just grant advantage, or do you have to roll something to do
I
it?
believe
Anyone remember?
in combat, it's just you use an action to help,
Okay.
and it gives them advantage.
Let's play it that way to keep it moving. So Lee is helping you, Gwendil, which means you get to roll twice. So you've rolled once, roll again, and if you get higher, take
okay,
that.
so I roll again.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll tell you, a
Come
6 isn't going to cut it.
Baby needs a new
Okay.
pair of feet.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
And Karakan, it's hard. You know,
Yeah.
maybe
it's all
you
that
took
metal. It like blocks my energies or something.
yeah, maybe you took a really kind of winding path, and you've got like this bad poison ivy like
Oh,
all
God.
up your legs. Maybe you're just more allergic to
I'm
it.
just so depleted from.
So for
healing
now,
everybody else.
unfortunately, you are still poisoned.
Mhm.
I will tell you, as a magic user, the key is that there are some things that you do that don't require you to do a check. So those may be ones you want to use.
Ah.
But unfortunately, you're going to be poisoned for a while. QRS or other, I'm sorry, not QRS, Gwendil or others could try and take care of you again later, but you are going to be poisoned for an hour or so.
Oh, so you're saying I
Can-
won't be as effective as in the last battle?
Yes.
Can I utilize the 50 feet of silken rope
Carry
to
it?
strap him onto my back to just carry him?
We're getting into some Groot rocket
I also
territory
have-
here.
Mhm.
I also
There's
have
some
the
consent
mid-grade
issues.
rope.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'll be carried. I have no pride.
Yeah, as long as it won't impede me, because I have a feeling I will need to fight. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little raccoon. I'm a big
Swing me
half
up.
giant.
Sorcerer with raccoon tendencies.
And for future notice,
Really
Lisa,
love
you,
to know what that grass is.
Lisa,
Mhm.
you have a cantrip called Guidance,
Oh, I do.
which
All right.
lets you give a bonus, like an extra
Mhm.
D4 to somebody who's making an ability check, and I think it could include you. I think you could
Oh.
cast it on yourself. So in theory, next time you try to help him, you might be able to give yourself a little bonus.
You could try harder.
Okay,
That's
I
what
can
Dan's
try.
saying.
You could try magically. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't do 100% of my effort. Okay.
Well, it's hard. He was the third patient of the day.
I'd like to really quickly try an Arcana check to see if there's any like magical residue.
Do it.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
You feel confident that there is no magic at play here.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay.
Good chat.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. That's awesome.
Anyone else? You are getting close to the front door to the tower.
I'd like to do another perception check
Mm-hmm.
just to see if I can see a better roll than 8. 15.
Ooh,
So you know that now that you know that the plants are not conducive to your well-being, you kind of pick a path up the hill that is you try and find a as plant-free path as possible to guide your friends.
All right, follow me, friends.
This
We
horrible.
got this. You
I'm
got it. You
strapped
can
to
do
your
it.
brush.
Step right there. Not there. Careful. Careful.
I'm
Follow my
strapped to your
way.
back, so I'm good.
Yep.
Yep. And so we'll say that you make it up the tower and you stand before the what remains of the lonely torch. Do I have a description of the lonely torch? I believe I do. The thin path rising through the weeds leads up to an iron-bound wooden door on the front of the ruined tower. A stone gargoyle juts out from above the door, its mouth open to reveal that its tongue has been broken off. Arrow slits are cut into the rough stone walls of the tower, angled toward the path that you just traveled up. There does not seem to be anyone standing outside the tower right now.
I would like to investigate that door a little closer.
All right.
I'm going to roll something. Perception, investigation.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Probably perception.
I got a 20.
Ooh, that's very
Nice.
Wow.
20.
The door looks like it's actually, even though this tower is kind of in ruins, the door looks pretty sturdy. It looks like it's it's there, it's on its hinges.
Does it have a lock?
Does not have an obvious locking mechanism.
Does
or
it have
doorknob.
a doorknob? I know.
Does not have a doorknob or a knocker or anything like that. It's just big pieces of wood. You suspect that they're probably possibly when they're closed, they might be barred from the inside, or they'd be propped open to allow people to come and go.
Possible I could open it by doing some sort of dance.
It is not impossible, but it is unlikely.
Will that joke? Will this air in an order where that joke makes sense?
Unlikely.
Probably not.
Dan,
Enjoy my joke from the future.
only for the deep canon listeners who are listening to all Total Party Kill episodes over and over
Weird
again.
order.
Thank you, machete cut listeners. So,
Could I? I kind of want to knock.
How many of us took damage there? 3 of us? How are we?
Three.
How are we doing?
I'm feeling half as good as I usually feel.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm the same.
Do we want to do a short rest?
I don't think we can sit here for an hour.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
yeah. It's late morning at this point, so.
I do have some healing, and I think Gwyn DL also has some healing spells, so perhaps we should divide and conquer on that front and get at least a couple of us buffed up again.
Right.
Sounds like a smart plan.
I have a Cure Wounds spell that
That's a
I
great
happened to
choice.
stock up this morning. So why don't I cast a Cure Wounds spell? I have to pick the most useful, don't I?
Well, I am a close combat fighter. Who else is a
Yeah.
close
I
combat?
think Famia, but she's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Famia's
I'm
fine.
also technically, I can go either way. I've got both
Okay.
ranged, but I'm more effective probably in close range currently.
Okay.
But I can
Famia,
also
would it
heal
be
myself.
easy-
Gwyn,
Yeah.
why don't you heal Lee? I'll heal myself.
Yeah.
And Karakon's strapped to Thamia's back, so he's going to be fine.
Well, I want to
This
know
is-
before I go with Lee, who makes sense to me. I just want to find out, Thamia, are you going to be able to fight effectively with Karakon strapped to your back?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can swing it. I got a crossbow, so I can just fire from the back. Which is
Also, a variety of magic, which is far more effective than a crossbow. But yes,
Right.
not for me. Not for me.
All right, so let me go ahead and cast my Cure Wound. Head on over to Lee, and they're
Glenn Fleischman is basically
Sorry.
Chaos Bolt as a person. So
yeah.
I've been-
All right.
That's very good. That's what I've been trying for.
You know what? Hold on. I've got
How'd you guess my name?
So I've got actually 2 different healing spells. I've got Cure Wound and I've got Healing Word.
Cure Wounds will heal more.
Okay, I think I will use Cure
It's
Wounds.
less
then. So
useful. Healing Word is more useful in combat because you can cast it faster.
we're not in combat, which means that Cure Wounds will be the one I use. All right, Lee, let's get this in the road. I'm going to
Thank
cast
you.
the spell. So I roll a 20 to see how effective it is.
Nope. If you look at the spell, if you sort of tap on the spell
Oh,
there,
okay.
it should give you the details at the top where it says like
Okay.
regain a certain number of hit points.
It says regain 1d8 plus 3 hit points.
There you go.
Okay. Should I roll?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Either of you can roll.
Lisa, do you want me to roll that, or do you want to roll that?
Why don't you go ahead and roll it?
Okay.
And I'm going to healing word myself because that's what I've got.
Gotta find a D8
And
here.
I got 6 back, which is almost max, so I'm good. Don't forget to mark off your spell slots. Boop, 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 doop. Stupid grass.
Right?
What did grass ever do for us anyway?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Should have stayed indoors.
Just poking us. And
Oh, I see how the difference between healing word and cure word.
Yeah,
is.
so also healing word can be cast as what's called a bonus action, which means it doesn't take up your main action in combat. You can do it on the side. So you could still attack, and then you could cast healing word, which is what's nice about using it in a fight.
All right, so you're healed up. You stand outside the remains of the Lonely Torch, unsure of what your next steps will be.
I have an idea.
Do tell.
So, well, I have to say I'm a little embarrassed to share this with you because some people are they're closed-minded. They don't accept necessarily other people as the way they are. But as it turns out, I have a bit of an ability, and so he sort of shakes his shakes his head for a second, and you see like his hair and his face change, and now he is the spitting image of. Should I be Arturo or Tasty Pete? That's the real question.
You have a range of
Tasty
there was
Pete's.
six villains you could take
I will
on the
be
identity.
Tasty Pete. So
Yeah.
he turns into the
Tasty
spitting image of Tasty Pete down to
Whoa.
You're a
voice.
shapeshifter.
I'm a changeling. It's true. I don't like to use my powers too often because, as I said, people are very superstitious about these kinds of things. This is all delivered in Tasty Pete's voice. People
It's
are
fine.
very
I'm only a
suspicious
little
about these
stitious.
kind of things.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you, Tony.
Now, Kioris, just to clarify,
Wait,
you
how
look.
do we now know that QRS isn't like assuming someone else's identity and this is just what he does?
Oh,
Bum.
that's actually a good question, which is detailed in my backstory.
You just
Uh,
poke him slightly.
Kioris, I just want to clarify. You look, sound, presumably smell like Tasty Pete, but you do not have Tasty Pete's wardrobe. Is that true?
That is true, although I am carrying, I think I have an entertainer's kit, which has costumes in it, so I could use one of
Do you
those.
Do you have a bandit costume in there?
What was he wearing?
Bandit clothes?
Or we can just pretend because,
Or he can say that, hey, I
grabbed him.
stole this off of someone I killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're relatively nondescript bandit clothes. But I just figured Kioris as a bard was somewhat flamboyantly dressed.
That's true, although I'm also a pirate, so I was dressed sort of...
Allow me to say flamboyantly dressed with advantage. So,
I do have a disguise kit.
all right.
And I also have both common clothes and costume clothes. So perhaps I could just
All right.
make something that's a little less flamboyant.
Yeah. I would say, okay, so this is not technically a plan yet, but it's start of a plan.
So
I will
yeah,
pass myself off as Tasty Pete and tell him we're coming back from the banditry, as it were.
Is there a second part to this plan?
No.
And
Do you think that we'll
we're
be
all
your
prisoners
partners?
somehow.
great.
Yeah,
so
I will
you're-
tie
you're
you all
prisoners?
together with 50 feet of silk rope.
already being
Ready for that.
utilized.
All right,
Ready
well,
for
we'll
that.
use the mid-grade rope.
No,
then.
we got two kinds
No,
of
you
rope.
tie Kakarakan to your back with his own rope.
Yeah, we don't need both the ropes, right?
I don't have any rope.
Yeah, I wanted to use the silk rope because it fits better on my shoulders and my waist.
Well, I could lead you in as prisoners, and we could tell them that the rest of the bandits are coming up the hill. They're slow. They stopped in town.
They're trying to avoid the poison grass.
Yeah.
Could we maybe be new recruits? Do we have to be
Ooh,
prisoners?
that's a good idea. Well, what if we could also split the difference? We could have
Ooh,
some
yeah.
new recruits because they know that we were out. They know that the Tasty Pete and Arturo were out doing some banditry, right? So maybe at least one or two. I feel like Thamia, no one's going to buy that we took Thamia prisoner. So
Yeah,
No.
that's kind of my.
So
Yeah.
maybe we could say Karakhan, since he's already tied to her back, kind of prisoner style.
Oh.
Yeah? Yeah? Lee, you seem
I
like
like
a
that.
likely potential mercenary. You've got the skills.
Thanks.
You seem intimidating, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And then
Alright.
we want Gwendiel to be a prisoner as well?
Or just a really enthusiastic recruit asking a lot of questions.
That's true. That's a
What are
very
you, an
good point.
investigative
She's-
journalist?
That one.
Okay, sorry, my internet connection froze for a minute there. So am I another recruit and I'm just a recruit that asks all the questions? Is that how we're doing this?
I think
Yeah.
that would be fine.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
very
think so,
disarming.
because if I'm a prisoner and I ask questions, what's to stop them from going silence and then hitting me? And I don't want to be hit.
True. I agree.
So,
It's true.
but if I just ask lots of questions and then be like, guys, I'm a cleric. you
All
know,
right,
guys,
all right.
this is a
So I
medical
found
unit."
some people who are ready to join the Nightblades.
All right.
All right.
I will go up and see if I can open the door. Is it like push open? How does it? Is it locked?
Looks like it would probably push open.
Okay, so I will lead them up and I will push open the door as though this is the very place where I live.
The doors are solidly barred from the inside.
I will pound on the door.
Coming! Coming! There's like footsteps as somebody walks across the stone hall inside.
Yay!
Who is it?
It is I, Tasty. It's Tasty Pete.
You hear another voice from somewhere further back in the tower. Who is it? Who's over there? He says it's Tasty Pete. Should I let him in? Go ahead, let him in. It's Tasty Pete. There's some noise, cluttering, and you hear the sound of a large piece of lumber being dragged out of position. And I'm going to show you. There's a top-down map
Ooh.
down there. And you can now see into the tower interior. There are two, not to prejudge them, but bandity looking guys hanging out in this kind of ruined hall that is the former Lonely Torch. So there's a description. I'll read the lovely description. Large oaken beams have collapsed from where they once supported the vaulted ceilings of this hall. One has smashed through the floor, revealing basement passages below. A large headless statue of a warrior, its great sword clasped hilt up in its hand, stands at the far side of the hall. A stone staircase leads up to the higher floors of the tower. So two surly-looking bandits are there, and they kind of eye you suspiciously. What's the deal, Tasty Pete? Says the first one who opened the door.
Good morning. Hey, we were out laying our ambush on the road as usual, and weren't any takers today. But
Where'd Arturo go?
Oh, they stopped in 10 White Sparrow on the way back. They were picking up some
What about
supplies.
all those other? You guys had all those new suckers with you. What happened to them?
Well, they didn't really pan out, but let me tell you, I found us some great new recruits on the way back through White Sparrow. They were really interested in the Nightblades, and I think they would really like to hear, what the Night Lord has to say.
I don't know about all this. Yeah, you can come inside though and wait for a while. I shouldn't leave the door open. And he kind of waves you in.
Okay.
So you guys want to move into the tower?
Yep.
I mean, not permanently, but
Yeah. The bandit waves you all in and then goes and closes the door and
a small enclosed space. What could go
and
wrong?
puts the big beam that holds the barred doors in place. A bunch of you here.
The bar doors?
Barred doors.
bar doors.
Horse was let out before the bar door was closed.
I'm Osgood. That's Polk. He points to the guy who's.
Of course, I know that.
Well, he's
I-
introducing himself. To the
Yes.
would
No.
like to meet them.
Right.
Uh,
right.
Tasty Pete, which one of these are recruits and which are prisoners? Just to clarify.
Well, yes. So this is an amazingly powerful Goliath over here, Thamia.
Oh,
She would love to join.
I have
look at her.
brought a present as well in the form of this thing.
Help me.
I don't know if the Night Lord's going to want any more prisoners. I mean, he's really more into like gold these days, but we can keep him with the others.
Cool.
The others. Where do you keep the other prisoners?
Are you a prisoner or a recruit?
No, I'm a
Either way,
recruit.
shut up.
No, you guys need me. I know healing.
Where do you want me to put this prisoner? I can take it and put him.
You can put it down in the mud pit with that other guy. You'll know Tasty
is
Pete will
working
show
out.
you the way.
Yes,
This is working out
I
great for
of
me.
course know the way to the mud pit.
I don't. Polk, can you show me? I want to see the prisoners. I really want to see the prisoners.
He points Polk. It's like, oh God, these are not going to work out. And he points with his thumb to the kind of ruined stairs descending into the basement of the tower.
Well, it sounds like Thamia. They're trying to take you down to the basement where they can ambush you. Now, how do I convey that to you?
Yeah, I don't know how you convey that to you. Remember, there is a room full of bandits here, or
So what I'm gonna
a
maybe
room
what I do is continue
full of bandits.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is if Thamia decides to go for the door, what I can do is the light cantrip to let her see down into the basement to see if they're lying about the prison or if there's more people laying in wait for her. So
sure, it's kind of gloomy in this tower. If you just want to cast light now, I mean, these bandits not really cultured. There's no. I want to be clear here. There's no torches. There's no end tables. There's no throw pillows in here. This is
but are there curtains?
It's not rustic. So it's not rustic. Is what
no one has seen a curtain here in
all right, so
generations.
Let there be fiat looks. Let there be light. Fiat looks.
Whoa, fancy, says Osgood.
Uh-huh.
I have large
Polk
feet.
says-
I want to make sure I don't trip
Polk says,
downstairs.
I've seen better.
Yeah. So I do it again so that Thamia can see her way down to the mud pit
All right.
and check it out. I have a bad feeling about that mud pit.
I'm gonna while she's doing that, I'm just gonna kind of look around, roll a quick perception check.
Sure.
That's only 12.
All right. It looks like this is, basically like a guard quarters. As far as you can tell, there's like kind of some rumpled bedrolls in the corner. There is several discarded bottles of beer and a set of dice. It looks like Osgood and Polk may basically live here, watching out of the arrow loops to keep invaders from attacking their tower.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably
gonna.
distinct
Yeah.
smell.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, there's a lot of not great smells. Let me tell you, there's more intense not great smells coming from the stairs down into the basement.
I'm gonna
Excellent.
ask Osgood.
Thamia,
And,
are you gonna stall out on taking the prisoner downstairs? Or are you gonna get ready to go and ask me to come with you? Or I just have a really bad feeling about that set of stairs.
I don't think they're trying to ambush us in their own home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
that
know.
doesn't.
I don't
They
know
would
that,
have to
but
be
that-
They would have to
How
be
would they
ready
know we
for
were
us.
coming?
Basement.
Yeah.
What if they want to kill you in the basement and leave you with the rest of the bodies? I mean, if there's a bad smell in the basement, it might be because there's rotting bodies.
Considering these
Likely.
are Tasty Pete's friends.
Speaking of which,
But they may not trust the recruits.
let me inquire while they're doing this. So, how many of the other guys are around? Anybody else still here? Or
Oh yeah, they're all back there. I bet they're not awake yet, but
Yeah, it's early
try
in the
not to
morning.
wake the Night Lord up. He hates that.
he gets really cranky. The Night Lord, very cranky.
Don't
Ooh.
joke about the Night Lord, dude.
I'm not joking. He's seriously cranky.
Hey, if he heard you say that, you know what would happen.
Well, just so we make sure that we don't talk too loudly. Where is he again? Is he upstairs? Is that what I heard him say? He's upstairs, or is he down in the pit with the prisoners?
Nobody's upstairs. Everybody's downstairs.
I'm so new to this whole thing. I just got to
Tasty
make
Peter,
sure.
I don't know about these guys.
Hey, it might need a little time to adjust, but they're eager. They want in.
Tasty Pete, I want a persuasion check, and I want a persuasion or a performance check from anyone that's attempting to look like a aspiring Nightblade member.
I'm just hanging out here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. The performance.
So who is the only is Karakan the only prisoner?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
All right.
So this is a
Great.
great
So-
time to use guidance, Lisa.
Okay, so
A performance or persuasion, you said?
Or
Tony?
deception,
Or
something.
deception. They're all
Something.
-1 for me.
So-
So,
Oh,
That's
me
great.
too, Lee.
Why don't
Can
I
I
give
touch
one of
Osgood? Because I have I'm not quite sure what guidance is, but I'll do what Dan tells me. And the description says, you touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and have the number rolled to an ability check of its choice.
So you would use that on a friend.
Oh, I'd use it on a friend. Okay, I'm going to use it on
who doesn't have a good
Lee or
deception
Thamia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who doesn't have good perception or performance?
I rolled an 11.
I was going to give you. Hold on. Before we know whether or not you succeed, sorry, I was going to give one of you bardic inspiration.
So do we want to have Wendiel do one and Q do the other?
Yeah. So whoever. Let's see.
How smart do I think these guys are? Like,
There is nothing that suggests these guys are smart.
okay.
Yeah. So why don't you give it to Lee, Gwyn, and I will give it to.
Is there anything
Thamia.
I should? Oh, sorry.
You're a
Alright,
prisoner.
so,
You don't. There's no way
Yeah, you don't get. You just hang out.
Yeah. So
I'm
cast
sure there's something
guidance,
inappropriate I could be doing.
So guidance says it gives you concentration of up to 1 minute. Okay, I've cast guidance to Lee
And you said a D4?
and said D4. Yes.
and Thamia, you get a D6 to add.
Okay.
And I will make.
So I got 16 with guidance.
You look like you're all in on the night blades, Lee. Thamia, how did you do?
I got a 15.
Thamia, Osgood kind of, okay. He just takes a step back. Tasty Pete, maintain your cover as Tasty Pete.
Question: because I am presenting myself as Beat and I do look identical to him, does that give me any sort of?
Yeah, you probably have an advantage, right?
Yeah, that sounds great. I got an 18.
All right. And last but not least, Gwyndiel, persuade these people that you actually want to join the Nightblades and are not just a weirdo interloper.
Oh my gosh, you guys cross your fingers for a good roll because
Got
I have a
this.
0. I have a 0 in persuasion.
It's all right. It's all about the roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
16.
see?
Nice.
All right. There we go. All right. I want to go back to sleep. You guys head downstairs.
All right.
Okay.
Let's all go
Okay,
downstairs.
I'm gonna cast light the whole way down because I want to see what sort of cesspit we're heading into.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I am really not looking forward to the suspect. I got to tell you guys.
Well, it's a
I'm
good
only
thing
willing-
you're behind me, so you don't have to look at all.
I got a new cloak on. I'm only willing. I know I'm
Nice.
poisoned, but I'm only willing to go so far with this. And then I'm going to cast some spell that's going to go wrong, and you know what happens then.
Now that's the spirit.
All right, let me. You can see there's some stairs, and they go down. And let me describe the next chamber for you. So this is the sunken cellars. The floor of the tower has collapsed, revealing stairs leading to a series of stone chambers below. Cracked wooden support beams hold up the crumbling stone ceiling of the main chamber. The walls are lined with hammocks and bedrolls. It smells like bandit feet, and that is a bad smell.
Do I have anything that can?
There are several bandits here. I would say at this time, there's probably about 6 bandits here. Some of them are asleep. Some of them are playing cards in the corner. But there's 6 bandits here. I will tell you that there's 2 bandits standing on the far side of the room who look particularly tough and intimidating. They've got like shaved heads and kind of like fresh-looking blade-styled tattoos on their faces. They look like they might be.
You're a face tattoo crowd.
Yeah, face tattoos, Dan. The
Face
closest thing to in charge. The obvious exits from these chambers. So, you can see, you poke your head around, there's clearly some like side chambers with little beds and whatnot. There's the stairs you just came down. There's kind of just a hole in the southern wall that looks like there's kind of like a rough hewn path into the earth. Looks like it's kind of sloping down. To call it stairs would do a disservice to stairs. But the 2 kind of particularly tough-looking bandits are both kind of in the vicinity / flanking a rather impressive-looking stone door carved with an artful depiction of hooded priests. Yeah. So here you are in the bandit headquarters, in the thick of it.
How many?
Several
of them are-
bandits.
Can I do an Arcana check and examine the priests that way?
Yeah, in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so two of the bandits give Tasty Pete the nod.
Okay. How many of them are they actually all awake?
I would say 2 bandits are asleep, 4 bandits are awake, but not exactly alert.
Okay. So I'll
I'll say there's
give 'em
2.
the wave.
Yeah. 2 bandits soundly asleep, 2 bandits kind of lazing about, 2 bandits standing guard by the door on the far wall.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Roll performance with advantage.
Okay.
Don't F this up.
My performance. 24.
They also say,
All.
"Hey, Tasty Pete."
How's it going?
Yeah.
All
All right. So you make your way into the I'm just moving your little tokens along.
Oh, yeah.
You make your way into the bandit headquarters. People seem generally disinterested in you.
Mm-hmm. I want
Cool.
to do
Way I
a
like
religion check just to see if there's anything I can learn about those monks, or if I can.
All right.
All right.
Gwendil, you're going to kind of approach that far door and take a look
Yep.
at it.
Yeah, but I only got 13 total, so.
You suspect there was probably some kind of shrine here a long time ago. It's unclear what. The 2 bandits kind of don't like that you're standing so close to the door and suggest with body language that you move along.
Okay, so I move back a little ways, but I still want to look at that door so I can remember it for future reference.
Sure.
I'm gonna fade back a little bit towards Lee and Thamia and just be like, I'm out of plan now.
You don't say.
I'm
Hey,
just hanging around the back here, so I don't got.
I would
You know,
like to present this tribute to the Night Lord dude.
I don't know if the last part is dude with like you're addressing the guards. It's like, yo, dude, or it's the Night Lord dude all in
Yeah.
one. But either way, it's awesome.
Both. Yeah.
Tammy, are you addressing anyone in particular? Or are you just going to say that to the room?
I think I'm going to say it kind of to the room, just as a general, see who will answer me, as opposed to
All right.
guessing someone's in charge and they're not.
The 2 bald, surly-looking bandits by the door step forward, aren't sure what to do, step back, and kind of go into like a sidebar. I don't think he's awake yet. I mean, do we even take more prisoners? We only got 1 prisoner. Why do we need more prisoners? Who is this deal with this guy? You go ask him. I don't want to ask him. You ask him. I don't know.
Can I take this moment to try to wave Tasty Pete, Quavaris over to discuss the notion that maybe we could do a sneak attack here, because there's enough of us that won't expect something coming from me, and we could probably get rid of all these guys all at once. Take them all out.
Oh.
The bold move. Look, I'm strapped to the back of a half Goliath. You're just leaving me here. We got to do something. They're going to throw me into a mud pit.
Can I use Lee's staff and like knock him over the head just for a
Like,
couple
a gentle
minutes?
tap?
Like, I don't
Quiet
want to really
you.
put him out of it.
Yeah.
But
You give him a theatrical rap on the head
Okay.
with the wooden staff.
okay.
Quiet back
So the bandits are kind of arguing with each other.
If I can sweeten the deal a little bit, I sort of step up next to Thamia and said, I think he'll want to see him. I want to see this prisoner. He had this ring on him, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to create an illusory trinket that looks very fancy and shiny. I think there's more where this came from.
Oh. They kind of decide like, all right. But if he's cranky, it's your fault.
We don't talk to.
Absolutely.
We don't refer to him as cranky. If he heard you
right.
say that.
You, new guy, and Tasty Pete will walk you in.
Cool.
All right, here we go.
All right. The party is being split.
Where are my eggs?
Awesome.
Just
Where
like
are
you
my
planned.
eggs?
Oh, a plan is just a list of things that don't happen.
All right. So Gwendil and Lee, you are being left behind in the bandit sleeping quarters. It's just you and 4 bandits, 2 of them asleep. No one, people are literally do not care what you do right now. The 2 bandits that seem to act like they know who Tasty Pete is open the door and lead the way down a flight of stairs to another set of doors and open that door. Let me show you. I think I have art of the next chamber, and then I'll go back to the overhead map. Do you have that art loading? All right.
Ooh.
Allow me to read the
Ooh.
description of it for the listeners. The two thugs lead you into what appears to basically be some kind of throne room. Two hulking statues of faceless armored knights kneel in the corners of this room, facing the center of the chamber, and a well that leads down into the shadowy depths. A stone throne sits upon a raised dais opposite the door. Standing, that would be weird. Seated upon that throne is what can only be described as a bandit captain. His robes and leather armor is particularly elaborate, and he wears a golden mask covering his face. 4 other bandits lounge about the room. It looks like you have interrupted them in the middle of some kind of money counting session. So I'll take you back to the overhead map here.
All right, the 4 bandits has really thrown a wrench in my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Especially,
4+.
I'm still unconscious, thank you.
You're
not really unconscious. It was a fake one to get you to not talk.
I throw some spells here for...
Razzle.
So, just to be clear about numbers, 3 of you have been led into the throne room by 2 guards, and you are now. So there are a total of 4 bandits, 2 more intimidating-looking bandits, and 1 Night Lord in this small throne room.
So what you're saying is we probably shouldn't start attacking. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm not going to say anything. You have taken half of your party and sent them somewhere more dangerous.
Yes.
So, the ostentatious bandit captain, who you presume to be the Night Lord, stands up from his throne and says, "Ah, yes, Tasty Pete, what have you brought for me today?"
My Night Lord, I have brought you a valuable prisoner as well as several new recruits, and I think you will be very pleased. And as I am talking, because this is the idea that I had and I'm going with it, I am going to have him make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. All right.
For the Night Lord?
Yep, the Night Lord.
Varus. I see.
Oh, so to see if the Night Lord is smart enough to detect that you're not really.
Nope, I'm casting a spell.
Hold on a second. I got to look up the Night Lord stats.
This could go very badly.
Surprise.
I apologize in advance.
Or it could be great.
Not like I'm here helpless or anything. That's not a problem.
You're not helpless.
You're
You can
not
still cast
helpless.
spells if you're on the back.
I've got a witch bolt just lined
All
up
right.
to go here.
The Night Lord will make a wisdom saving throw, QRS. He rolled a critical success.
No!
Oh.
All right, well.
Dungeons and Dragons, it's a game where we make plans and those plans are bad and it's your fault.
All right.
Just like life. Just like
Yeah.
life.
So the good news is.
Bards in this party.
All right, so I
Everyone's a
attempted-
bard with
I
a
didn't-
bard.
QRS, what spell was that and is he aware of it?
It was Charm Person. I don't think that he is aware of it. It only says if it, after the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you.
Okay.
So, and since it just requires verbal and somatic components,
Yeah.
I assume I could weave it into a speech that I
Sure.
was making. So it
What
just
was
kind
the
of,
somatic component?
I just, flourish,
Yeah.
waving of the hand.
Okay.
So it kind of fizzles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
QRS, like, his face just goes kind of fixed for a second, like... and then he just, keeps going, because that's all he's got.
So the Night Lord continues. So what happened to Arturo?
Oh, Arturo is in White Sparrow. He and the rest of the guys stopped on the way back for a drink.
I don't like that. I told you guys, stay away from White Sparrow. You're going to get in trouble with the sheriff. Can't have that. We're not ready for that yet.
Well, they'll
soon
be back
we're
soon.
gonna make our big move.
Yeah.
We'll show that sheriff.
Yeah, that's right. That sheriff.
So you've got new recruits
Yeah, muscle.
What's up?
and a prisoner. Oh, yes, very impressive. And what's the situation with this prisoner? Why do I care about that?
Well-
Seems like it's another mouth to feed.
That's true, but I think maybe he has some value. I mean, seems very important. He had these like this. He's got this cloak, this fancy.
Yeah,
cloak.
look at this fancy
Look at
cloak
that
he's
cloak.
got.
I think
Am I
maybe
still
we could
poisoned?
like ransom him, right? Like ransom him and make some money.
Is he a noble?
He looks like kind of a noble,
Clean?
but also part
Look.
raccoon, which is a little confusing. But
Tasty
I took
Pete.
initiative. I thought that's what you wanted.
Tasty Pete, I appreciate the initiative, but you got to understand, you're muscle. Arturo, he's the brains of your crew. You follow his orders, you stay out of trouble. This free enterprising thing, it's not going to cut it in the Nightblades.
Sorry. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
We don't need so many bosses in the Nightblade. We need blades in the Nightblade.
Sure. Yeah, it's not the night bosses. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like Arturo wasn't listening very well to you, sir. Hi, Lord, Night Lord, sir.
I'll deal with Arturo. You stick to yourself. What do you have to show? You bring any treasure?
I mean, I got this guy, and I am very strong. I hit things very well.
Yeah,
Look, you're impressive.
I saw her break a huge table. It was crazy.
Yeah,
All right.
it was in my
Here's
way.
what you do. Leave the thinking to me, Tasty Pete. You and your new friend there, you take the prisoner. You throw him in the mud pit. I want you two to work together. You question the prisoner. Maybe can you write, Tasty Pete?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know all my
You put
letters.
together
Well,
you
like
put
most
together
of
a
my
ransom
letters.
note. You run that by me. We'll have that delivered. If this pays off, you're not gonna have to work for Arturo anymore.
Oh,
But that's a
crap.
big if.
Sure. Yeah. No, I understand. I don't want to mess up the big move, obviously.
All right, we got money to count. Be off
right.
with you.
Cool.
Well, it didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but it didn't go as badly as I feared.
I know. We're still alive. That's good.
The two thugs walk you back up the stairs into the main headquarters of the Nightblades. I will tell you, surprisingly, you have so far avoided combat. You have seen a decent percentage of this bandit headquarters.
Recon.
Unclear how you're going to get out of here, let alone get out of here alive. What happens next, players? In fact, maybe we should check in while that was happening. Lee, Gwendale, did you want to be doing anything while you were unsure of the fate of your friends?
I was just kind of checking out the room.
All right. It's filthy.
People didn't really want to. It is filthy.
Imagine a dorm. Imagine a frat house.
I went to an engineering college with several all-male dorms, and
I want to paint a small picture. Imagine a frat house that is also a basement.
Oh god!
And all of the fraternity members are felons.
Wait a second. I feel like we've
Shout out
been
to
to
my
this
fellow
fraternity.
Renzo alumni.
Have you been to a frat house that is also a basement?
Wasn't Evan's frat house also kind of a basement?
No, it had a basement. He lived on like the second floor.
All right.
It was filthy. Don't get me wrong, but it was not actually underground.
Fair point.
He did
fair
not
point.
live in a bunker. I just want to know. There's like the mixture of like the mildew and moisture of a basement with the body funk of 10 bandits. There is clearly not running water or a shower anywhere in this bandit headquarters. That's what you've got going on. So, yeah. So Lee, Gwendale, kind of looking around, maintaining a
Wait
low
for my
profile.
friends to come back. Yeah, hoping
And-
nobody notices us.
And,
After
and
several minutes, oh, sorry, Lee, go for it.
I was just gonna say, just like trying to make small talk. So, you've been bandits long. How did you get into banditing?
Oh, I just joined up the other week. Gonna make a name for myself for the Nightblades.
How do you like it?
It's great. Beats working.
It's not. You don't think it's work? It just comes. It's so enjoyable that it doesn't feel like work to you.
Yeah, I never thought about just like taking stuff before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always thought that I could maybe take stuff from people. It sounds
And the Night
wonderful.
Lord, like, he is real impressive. He's got a golden face, and he's got a bird does what he says.
Wow. A bird that does what he says?
Yeah, it's like an evil bird. It's red.
Wow, what kind of things does the Night Lord have that bird do?
I don't know, scare people?
Oh, nice. That sounds really cool. Does it like, I don't know, it's red. Does it breathe fire or something? That would be really neat.
Probably.
Yeah.
Have you
Cool.
seen it do that? Huh.
I have not seen it breathe fire, but I figure.
It's red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
red is the color of fire. This is
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I learned in school.
Oh, you went to school. Wow.
For,
Lucky you. Back in my day.
for a year. I learned red, learned blue. I almost got green. That one all got me.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bandit now.
Nice. Cool. Well, I hope I get to do bandity things with you.
No,
Sounds
trust me.
great.
Stick with the knife blades.
Okay.
Sweet gig.
Nice.
All right, and so your friends reappear, not murdered by the Night Lord. Amazingly. The thugs point you in the direction of the hole in the wall and the earthen path sloping down, and said, "Get that prisoner out of here."
Sure.
Right
yeah.
away. Right
Oh,
away.
We'll take it.
Right away.
downstairs.
To the mud pit.
Yes, sir.
Can
All right.
I wanna check out the
can
mud
Not the
pit.
mud pit. Anything but the mud pit. I'm allergic
Shut
to
up,
mud.
you.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'd love to
I wanna
get
go
some
see
help
this lad not
untying.
Get thrown in the mud pit.
Yeah,
When
everyone
should
to the
we
mud
join
pit.
them?
Let's go.
Everyone
All right.
to the mud pit. Let's
Somehow it is not incredibly conspicuous for 4 people to Congo line down
We're touring our
the
new
mud
place.
pit.
New digs. Gotta check them all out.
So a narrow
You gotta see
walkway-
the mud pit.
A narrow path cuts through the earth. The walls are slick with mud, and eventually it leads down to a room that's not really a room so much as a 10-foot walkway that is on the lip of a deep pit filled with mud. There are 2 guards standing here supervising the prisoner. There is a prisoner who is basically tied to the wall up to his waist in mud. There's a drainage pipe trickling gross, filthy water into the fetid
Yummy.
pool of mud.
and we're supposed to throw the raccoon boy into that. Oh, he'll
Yeah, the 2 bandits standing guard there give Tasty Pete the nod. Hey, Tasty Pete, what's up?
Hey, I just showing the new recruits the mud pit. We can keep an eye on things here for a minute if you guys want to just grab a quick bite or something.
Oh, sure. Catch you later, Tasty Pete.
Yeah.
The 2 guards head off. Tasty Pete, normally I should have your roll a persuasion check, but I don't care. That was totally believable. It's happening. One of the guards hands off to you, Tasty Pete, a large bag. The bag is wriggling.
Right, the bag. Yeah, you gotta have the bag.
Let's go get a smoke. Back in 10.
All right. What's in the bag? Wait, no, hold on. I should have learned a lesson about opening bags.
Yep. Don't
so
just open that bag.
the 5 of you are now standing or riding. You are now in the mud pit area on the little ledge overlooking this filthy pool of mud. There's a prisoner tied to the wall. He looks downtrodden. You're holding a bag of something, and yeah. What, pray tell, is in the bag? Will you escape the Nightblade's domain intact? Why would they keep a prisoner here? That's really mean. What is in the bag? Come on, let's talk more about the bag.
No.
Will you eventually have to fight and slaughter your way through 20 or more bandits, or is the silver tongue the weapon of choice? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time for Total Party Kill. Thank you, and good night. Woo!
That's not my bag, baby.
What's in the bag?
Yes, wow.
That seemed like as good a place to end as any.
All of us in a mud pit, me about to be thrown into it. Over
be
my
fair,
You're
head.
actually going to be thrown into
They have,
it.
they have little obligation to throw you in at this
Only
point,
like that.
since
I don't know.
the
They might be
Yeah.
tired
Unless
of
you
me by
keep
now.
complaining about it, and then I will
Right in the mud
gladly
pit.
do so.
Right in the mud
Throw
pit.
me in
We're
the
not going to
mud
throw
pit,
you unless
bro.
someone's watching.
Dan, do we still have people watching the live stream?
There are
Yep.
21 people on the live stream.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys have,
Thanks,
for
friends.
the same 21, you have a lot of stamina. Good for you.
Wow. So this is a thing we sometimes do. Do we want to do that thing that we sometimes do tonight, Dan, or no? He says cryptically.
Yeah, we could. What you want to do? One.
Yeah, let's do one.
All right. Live stream. This is the point where we answer your questions.
Oh,
They could be
wow.
for
But
the
just
players.
one.
They could be for the characters. But we're going to do only one. So the first person to ask a question,
Or
we'll get that question
Submit a
answered.
bunch of questions. Dan will
And I'll
pick the best one in a second while
Yeah.
we vamp.
One of
So-
those.
Alright.
Players, you have made it to the Lonely Torch. You have made it to the Nightblade. As you can see, you finally, some of you, met face to face with the Night Lord. The climax of this adventure is near at hand. I suspect in one session, we will probably one more additional session to be scheduled, maybe for next week, maybe after. We will conclude this mini adventure. But I just want to give a special thank you to our people who are somewhat newish to D&D, Lisa Smizer, Glenn Fleischman, and Kathy Campbell. I know you have all technically played Dungeons & Dragons before, but maybe not with this intensity or ferocity or I don't know, proximity to now.
In this millennia, no.
Yeah.
Millennium, sorry.
So far so good.
Like a story of old school distance playing. My dad was a submariner in the Navy, and then for naval contractors, and they used to play D&D on the boats. And so my dad and I would put together my characters, and he'd play on sea trials. And so I'd have to wait weeks or months between turns to find out what had happened.
Oh my god!
That's amazing.
Because he was underwater in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad was underwater in the 80s, a memoir.
It makes sense. It makes sense for submariners though, because you need something that you can that takes up almost no space in your bag.
Yeah,
and can keep you occupied
for a long time. Yeah,
and can scale up or scale back for people depending on who's interested. And so, D&D plague in the nuclear subs of the 1980s.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like play-by-mail diplomacy for that kind of reason, but that might be maybe that's not escapist enough for people who are in the military.
War,
rocket to Mars,
sitting on top of nuclear missiles in the North Sea. Yeah,
guys, let's play Axis and Allies. No one ever wants to play Scopoly with me on a submarine.
The round trip to Mars will be the killer for correspondence with Mars.
No, that's why you play Terraforming Mars the entire way there, and the entire way back.
All right, Dan, have you picked a question for us? Do we have any questions?
We only have two questions, and they're both from listener Simon. So I'm going to ask them both because one of them you're not going to answer.
Also, listener Simon's great. Shout out to listener Simon.
Yeah.
Listener Simon is very concerned about you, Tony. Is Tony getting enough time between D&D recordings?
No.
We don't want our DM to burn out. No, that was a quick answer. I like it.
The answer is no. Simon, to say I am held together by something implies that I'm holding together. I am just a pale shadow of a person walking from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting. Some of the Zoom meetings are for work. Some of the Zoom meetings were for podcasting. Let my suffering serve as a beacon to you on how to live a better life.
Oh, so you're a Zombie.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
This is a good question, though. We'll go down the list really quick. What's your drink of choice while gaming/DMing? Glenn?
Water.
Tony?
I Coke Zero because I need the caffeine.
Lisa?
Herbal tea.
Aline?
San Pellegrino.
Ooh. Kathy?
Sponsorship.
Wow, I'm going to sound very much like a Lush. I like a very fine Moscato from the box wine in my fridge.
Nice. And I'm drinking...
Bach.
I'm just drinking seltzer from the Soda Stream. That's very exciting.
Listeners...
Wait, you got one last question, Tony. You got to answer that one. You're mandated. What's in the bag? That was a question. Listener Simon asks, "What's in the bag?"
What's in the box?
Depending on the choices the players make, we will find out exactly what is in the bag at the start of next session. That's a teaser, people. Tune in at a time that we have not discussed yet because I haven't done scheduling ahead of time to find that answer. I will even tell you there is other. Why are we doing this? There's other Dungeons & Dragons coming. I am running another...
This is on you, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're like, hey, let's play a game.
No one twisted your arm on that one.
You want to play
Dungeon Fever already.
Please help. I'm running another adventure on Saturday and Sunday.
Tony, go.
It will be. It will also
2020
be
is the year the indoor kids rise and take over the
world.
Yeah, but only indoors.
Only indoors. I will tell you now, for those listening, players joining us on Saturday and Sunday for another adventure from the Fantastic Adventures book. We will be playing the Dwarven Vault Adventures, and who will be joining me? People that have names such as. See how I stalled?
I got you. Game recognition.
Names such as Jason Snell. Names such as Monty Ashley, Stephen J. Lutz, Annette Wierstra, and James Thompson. That's right. We got someone from Scotland to play a game. Is that a plus or a minus? Tune in to find out.
we got the bagpipes, but he's got the scouts.
That's damn Skippy. Good night, live stream.
Good night, live stream.
Hey,
Night, flute leg.
Thanks for tuning in.